Hey, I'm going to take you right into the intro and then I shall be back. Hopefully, some people will come in. Where is everybody at on this Friday night? The weekend.
Home in the valley, home in the city, home isn't pretty, ain't no home for me. Home in the darkness, home on the highway, home isn't my way, home I'll never be. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. Time is the essence. Time is the season. Time ain't no reason. Got no time to show. Time everlasting. Time to play beside. Time ain't on my side. Time I'll never know. Burn out the day. Burn out the night. Now I want to tell you what's wrong from what's right. I've seen suns that were freezing and lives that were blue. But I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. Burn out the day. Burn out the night. Can't see no reason to put up a fight. I'm living for giving the devil his due. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you.
Alrighty. It's Friday. It's the weekend. This has been a long week, and I'm glad it's the weekend. I hope y'all are too. Hey, Misfits. Hope everybody got some big plans for this weekend. Everybody in the bushes. If you're in the bushes, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And heck, go ahead and subscribe. We'll do one better. We got poolside memberships, hon. You could be a poolside misfit, an original. Anyway, what y'all doing? Y'all gotta be sick of Britney, because I am. I mean, I'm thinking everybody's pretty much seen her live from last night, and one thing she didn't do the last couple times is she didn't deny taking anybody's channel or attempting to take anybody's channels down. She didn't. She has now stopped denying it. Good luck with that, Brooke, because what I think is going to happen is I think that is going to backfire on you. And YouTube just may say, bye. You too. You want to cause the crap, and every time, is this what's going to happen every time somebody reviews you? Bye. So you may not like the outcome. Hey, Tuxedo Baby, member for 11 months. Thank you. That's awesome. Good to see you. Thank you for being a member for 11 months. I got some new badges that are Miss Brittany or Miss Brittany, Miss BB made me some things for the chat for Misfits. So I'm going to use them on here. I just got to transfer them. They're really cute. You guys will have some new ones to use this weekend. It's been a long day. Oh, I'm so glad it's almost over. Are you good, Bubblicious? You going to be crying again in an hour to go right back out? Absolutely. That dog, I swear. 8:57 and free. You still think there's something stinky happening? Sure, there is. Mm, mm, oh, how do I say this and not piss everybody and their mother off? There's some fishy shit going on, period. Period. Excuse me for coughing. Sorry. Um, there's just, I don't know. You saw an Expos today? What was it about? I wasn't around a whole bunch today. I was busy. I had to go to a doctor's appointment out of town and stuff. Hey, Mystic, good to see you. So I popped into Trisha's for a little bit. I popped into Jay's for a little bit. I think that's about all. No, I listened to some Clue. Was it Clue? Or it might have been Clue from last night if it wasn't today's. But that's about it. I really. Okay, Brett, I will. Thank you for not right creative. Oh, yeah. The last I seen he posted was from a couple days ago. I checked today and I didn't see anything, but I checked really earlier in the day. So he could have posted again since then. Um, yeah, that's nothing but somebody who's trying to make a name for herself off the backs of others. And he's nothing but a frivolous sewer. He's just one of them. That's what his whole goal in life is. He's a fraud, in my opinion. So there's that. But as far as this other stuff going on, yeah. Hmm. When is it? When is it? When do you just say, enough? Enough. I'm done. I'm not. Hey, Darby. Hey, Rocky. I'm not gonna continue this anymore. When do you, or when do you say, no, I'm not gonna go that low? I guess everybody's line is different. I guess everybody's boundaries are different. You know. When is BJ gonna stop lying? Probably never. Probably never. She lied through her teeth again. And then, she was dozing off at the end of her live last night. She was nodding out again. Um, and then, she got all excited, woke up, to talk about some drama and taking it to TikTok. But I don't think she actually went to TikTok, just he did. Yeah. Okay, why isn't this charging? What the hell's going on? Okay, I just didn't have it pushed in tight. Okay. All right. By the way, Willow's True Crime. I don't think you're here, but thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate it. I greatly do. Got my charger, and I'm live. It wasn't a nightmare this time. I was just like, I was blown away. I was like, oh my God, last time was such a dramatic nightmare. I mean, it took like between everything a total of 13 days. 10 days after it was supposed to come, it came. It was, anyway, his TikTok was cringed. I listened to a little bit of it, but she couldn't stay awake after doing, she did 7.5 hours and then they wanted to go to TikTok. When do these people sleep? I mean, how do they do it? They've got a family. How do they do it? Because they damn sure don't help her. I mean, we've all heard that. I don't know. She pauses her life to get him stuff her live when she's live and he's sitting right there. Mm-mm. Straight up fear mongering lawsuits are coming. They, but some people are saying that's on all sides. Um, who's going to sue who? Come on, let's face it. Who's actually got the money to sit around and sue all these people? Nobody. Hey, Betty MCW. Nobody. And come on, how many lawsuits do you think chats need to be supporting? These people that are filing frivolous shit need to stop. It's that simple. They are vampires. I'm starting to wonder. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, I know y'all have seen the live probably, what, 3, 4 times today? And then she did brought a little bit over to her true crime channel in the beginning, but then didn't do nothing else. And it was not good true crime. But oh, really? 57 and free? Let me see. Okay, this was 6 hours ago. At Night Media for immediate release. Official statement from One World and At Night on pending litigation. Let's be clear. You know, I was just thinking, this attorney that's in bed with Nick, what if this attorney's an ambulance chaser? And by that I mean, hey, Eric, he goes along with these cases that Nick brings him, these frivolous lawsuits, because let's face it, there are ones that will kind of stick and get them a quick little settlement. It's hit and miss. You have to file several before you get there. But what if that's what they got, the shtick they got going? Let's just hit all these people. Somebody's going to eventually pay. I don't know. Another hot air BS strike. Yeah. Hey, PJ. The spirits won't let her sleep. Could be. But it says, let's be clear. The individuals styling themselves as so called holistic creators. What the fuck is a holistic creator? And who have you heard on here refer to them as such? Okay. Are not the altruistic advocates they portray. Nuh-uh. Their true motivations will be laid bare in depositions, under oath, and through the evidence we've already secured. we know. We know about the evidence you secured and got laughed out of court with. But okay. That evidence is drawn not only from the investigative reach of At Night Private Intelligence Agency, not a bunch of YouTubers, but from the accounts of brave, cooperating witnesses who have endured their harassment and exploitation before. These witnesses are stepping forward, knowing full well the risk to their safety, because the truth matters more. It matters more than their own safety. And that truth will form the backbone of the lawsuits, now being prepared to hold these defendants fully accountable. This carefully crafted, raising awareness narrative collapses under the weight of the facts. What facts? For months, these individuals have trafficked in provable falsehoods. Provable. They have trafficked people. Targeted defamation, witness intimidation, and deliberate interference with lawful search operations for Sebastian Rogers. How, where, and when was that ever interfered with and stopped at anybody's hands other than their own? Okay, didn't think you could tell me. The legal, financial, and reputational fallout they now face is not the product of some vendetta. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It is the direct consequence of their own choices. Yeah, don't say. Their own choices. Okay. At Night, One World Social Corp, or Society Corp, sorry, and our subsidiaries, named or unnamed, have acted solely in good faith to protect Sebastian, assist his father, and bring the truth into daylight. In good faith, you've acted. You have caused nothing but chaos and mucked the hell up out of all this since the minute you got involved, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. We reject entirely the notion that we bear responsibility for the harm these defendants have brought upon themselves. No, really? Was you being accused of that? Oh, sorry, dude. Not sorry. Anyway, and let's dispense with this idea that our work is drama. Nah, 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 no drama here. Mm-mm. It is their conduct that siphoned manpower, time, and resources away from the ground search. Bzz, lies, lies, and lies. There have been no ground searches, okay? People just lied and said they were out searching for months when in all actuality they were only out 4 times. But okay, whatever you say, dude. We got you. Okay. And excuse me, sir, but It's actually the green team, members of the green team that have the reject team. Hey, we're the misfits. Y'all might as well be the rejects. Yeah, know. Um, but there was one that, you know, had to be taken to court and get protection order against because she wouldn't quit terrorizing the parents of Sebastian. Then she violated said orders and took unnecessary manpower hours to put her butt in a jail cell for a few hours. Yeah. Then back and forth to court, back and forth to court, back and forth. This lady wastes more court time than 20 criminal defendants. I'm telling you. In multiple states. She just abuses the hell out of the system. But that's on your side there, Nick. That's, since you like to call sides, because I don't see a side. Okay. It's ridiculous. I'm not in junior high or elementary school. But that is all on the team member. No, who else has done that? Who else? And how is them somebody getting reviewed and called out for the crap they do, hindering the investigation? Because it's not. This person hasn't put up one flyer, has never stepped a foot out their house to look for him in any way, shape, or form. So, okay, dude. The disappearance. Okay. Every hour spent dismantling their misinformation was an hour stolen from the efforts to find a missing child. They're not the ones putting out fake tips. Just saying. And filing frivolous court action. Just saying. Cloaking themselves in the language of advocacy. You're so right, dude. Bullhorn does that and claims to be an advocate, to be advocating. You are so spot on about your own team, dude. You really are. You're good. You're really good. Hey, beautiful disaster. Hey, hindsight. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Denise. Hey, Roxy. Hey, Zero Fox. Good to see you. Mm-mm-mm. Betty cloaks as an advocate. They cloak themselves in the language of advocacy that does not shield them from the reality that they inflicted measurable harm on the very cause they claim to champion. Oh, Zero Fox member for 9 months. We got us a poolside baby. We do. Yay. We need one. Hey, Liplock. We love you, glue and cleaners. Hey. Mm-mm-mm. The disappearance of a vulnerable teenager is not fodder for clicks, views, or online notoriety. You don't say. Well, you might want to talk to some of the green team members about that, like BJ, Slimy, Spanky, Betty, and on and on and on, okay? Yeah, I might want to let them know that. Just say it. It is a real world crisis for his family and for those of us fighting to bring him home. Freedom of speech is not a free pass to defame, to intimidate, or to sabotage an active search operation. Spot on, dude. We've been telling you all that for about 18 months now. I've been telling more than that for longer. Yeah, y'all don't listen. The law draws that line, and our litigation will show in black and white how and when those lines were crossed. We've seen the evidence you've submitted. No, it won't. But anyway. And so was the judge, and she wasn't impressed either. Okay. Let me see where I live. Defending the law draws. And yeah, they're going to show us when those lines were crossed. Our engagement with Sebastian's father has never wavered. Our objective is singular: find Sebastian and deliver justice for the harm done to him and to the people who have poured their time, resources, and hearts into this mission. We will not be derailed by false narratives or by those who recast themselves as victims when the record tells another story. It sure did. When you went into the PA court, I'll be damned if you're not right. The record showed the truth. The record showed what was really going on, not the crap, the delusional crap y'all put in your statements and in your court filings. Yeah, you're right. You're so spot on, Nick. I'm impressed. Man, was this day of deflection of at night? Is that it? Exactly, beautiful disaster. Mm-mm-mm. We will not be derailed by the false narratives, by those who recast themselves as victims when the record tells another story. The facts, the witnesses. Ooh, and the law will speak. It has spoken. And you lost your injunction, dude. And you got to pay legal fees. And they can sue. Anyway. And it was with prejudice, so you're done. Anyway. And they will do, the law will speak, and they will do so loudly. Well, yeah, I guess you could say that was loudly. It was dismissed. Bye bye. Appeal denied. Bye bye. I mean, I guess. Cynthia Lee, Global Ownership Liaison and Senior Representative from One World Corp, parent of That Night. You know, these places don't exist. They don't file tax returns. They aren't real. These are names he uses online. They're not real businesses, in my opinion. Hey, Lily Rose. It's opposite day. We just didn't know it. SpongeBob must have called Nick to tell him it's opposite day. Their litigation will show exactly what Judge stated: 99% artificial, 0% intelligence. Exactly. Oh. Guys, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subbed up, sub on up. But please hit that thumbs up. Where is everybody at tonight? Darn it. Well, then they filed one, or they posted. I think everybody knows about this one. Where did it go? Hey, get back here. Get back here. Oh, this phone. Why was that post removed? I think it might have been. But they had posted one, but it looks like it was removed. At night is aware of the litigation and reviewing all legal options. Yeah, that's old. We read that. Okay. Yeah. Wow. He kind of like just wrote a book about them, honestly. I mean, that really was truly about what's happened with their team on the, from their inside their own team members. I mean, hey, Toe Beans, good to see you. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, we've been talking about this Brooke, and I've showed a little bit of her. And the other day I was playing her, but with Brooke, I like to play the video, even though she doesn't really do anything. It just works better that way. But uh, I don't know. Is this woman a fraud? I don't know. Is she semi homeless? By that I mean by night, most nights she has somewhere warm and dry to sleep, to get clean clothes, to shower, and then by day she's got to be out. I don't know. Hey, GM Lovely. She was grocery shopping the other day, buying food that I have no idea where she's going to cook. And then she goes live and shows what looks to be like in some type of apartment or trailer or something. And like I said, she's always got clean, laundered clothes on. She always looks clean. She eats rather well. She has multiple phones with service contracts, um, storage unit, laptops. I don't know. She says I don't know. She said that she don't make enough off YouTube anymore to survive. That's why she lost her truck. She blames the world, everybody but herself. It's everybody's fault for everything that's happened to her. Hey, Cherry P, none of it is her fault. None of it. Um, I already seen and heard a few hundred times today that dog, the bounty hunter, landed in Tennessee today at McKee Tyson Airport. Yeah, he's there about his. Yeah, it's not about Sebastian. That's about his stepson's in some shit. He's got, that there's some stuff going on there, legal. I believe charges were filed or something to that effect. Yeah. So, hmm just like when he was going there for the wedding, they sent or posted screenshots of him, and even fake ones, to allude that he was going there for Sebastian. Remember, that's when they said he was going to kick indoors and shit. But in reality, he was going to a wedding that weekend. And that's what he did. He was nowhere over there. He was at the wedding with his family the entire weekend. But, I listened to Brittany's two lives, and the beginning of her second live on her other channel, she did a little bit, but not much. But she was really having a hard time staying awake. Shocker. Um, but I bet she wasn't too happy with his TikTok. I don't care though. That's between them. They can have at it. How about it? I don't want no parts of it. I know he's not here for Sebastian. Would have never thought. He would just figure the clown show may try to pull something. They will. I no doubt. They probably will. Beautiful disaster. Haven't they always? I mean, last time they posted all those fake pictures. Hey, CK. And you know who I'm surprised who's being quiet about all this, unless I just missed it, is the CPS caller. I don't like calling her that though, even though it's the candle thing. I'll call her that. Unless she's been and I just haven't seen it because I don't watch her. So, but I checked, I think yesterday, and she hadn't fired up a lot talking about it, which I was surprised. Give her time. She's putting it all together in that little tiny head of hers, little tiny brain of hers. I checked to try to see if dog has an event, and from what I can pull up, no family here, but I know about the poor little step grandson situation. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I think he was being charged or something, something to that effect. I seen something about it. I didn't watch it or read it because I don't never keep up on dog. Don't care. He was nothing but a shit, kind of a clout, if so to speak, bad version of clout. But I guess it's the best they could come up with. So she deserves it. Nora CPS. She's getting ready for her daughter's wedding shower. So she. Oh, okay. Well, at least she's leaving people alone. I mean, for real. She's leaving people alone for a minute, anyway. She's got serious issues. Serious issues. Okay, so I know you all got to be tired of listening to Brittany today. If y'all want to listen to what little she did, I'll play it if that's what you want because you're the subs. But I really don't want to. Well, anyway, there's a creator who says that there was a very important, minute detail totally missed in the Summer Wells case, and it proves that Dawn Wells is responsible. Yeah. Yep. Don't know who this creator is. Don't know if it's a guy or a girl because they're using an AI voice. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, hmm it says, I saw Dawn Wells. I will not deny it. I saw Dawn Wells. He did it. Mm, I'm fine. But yeah. Hey, guess who has arrived? Yeah. This creator says that Dawn Wells did whatever was done. I agree, Darby. It's a very short video. I'll fast forward through the first part of it. I only want to play it because I was like, oh, who the hell is this? I've never heard of this person. And where are they coming out into it's Detective Max. Don't know who that is. But apparently they decided to come into the Summer Wells case and prove that Dawn did it. Hmm, go figure. Then we're going to get into some Brooke because Brooke was mad at the freaking world, Jack. I mean, she is mad at the world, and the world is at fault for everything in her life. And then I'll show the short where she's going shopping and meal prepping, and she's staying somewhere, or I don't know. I do not believe that she is one, and this is just my opinion, but I do not believe she is totally 100% homeless. I just don't. And I'm waiting
Not
for
even the nod of acknowledgement you'd expect.
the video to process again because I clipped more out of it. I think it's going to pass this time. And if it does, then I can show you the dude who bought the $700,000 home and drives a Mercedes Benz, and all that money came from him begging out in the streets. And he'll admit that he makes almost $8,000 a month on some months doing that. Yeah. Anyway, but I don't know. It just reminds me of her. Do I think she's living that high on the hog? No, no, no. But I also don't, in my opinion, I don't think that she's like totally 100% homeless. I think she has places to go at night. And thank God she does. Because no woman should be out in them streets by themselves, you know? I don't know. Hey, Shauna. Hey, Lady Creations. Yeah, she is wild. And she can be very entertaining. Hey, Virginia. But then when she loses it, she loses it. I mean, that poor dude at the car wash, He wasn't doing a damn thing but washing his truck and playing some music. And here comes this wild, crazy woman ranting and raving, and he's just like, "What the fuck?" He just jumped in his truck and left, Jack. Welcome in, everybody. I don't even know if I'm going to set a goal. I don't get them all too often. And I don't want to be just like it's disappointing. Uh, anyway, I'll do it. So we'll play this because it's short. And y'all be the judge. I mean, it could just be me. Maybe I'm not seeing something or hearing something here. I don't know. We'll find out though. Okay.
In a small rural community where people recognize each other, even if they aren't close. Instead, it
Now,
was a
according to her, a witness has now come forward, which proves that Dawn Wells is responsible.
cold, hard stare, blank, unfriendly, as if she had interrupted something that wasn't meant to be seen, something private. She continued driving or walking. She won't specify, but she remembers that look. She remembers thinking to herself, he didn't look like someone just making a friendly visit. It unsettled her, but at that moment she kept going. There was no missing child yet, no Amber Alert, no reason to stop or call anyone. Just a strange interaction at the edge of a property she'd passed 100 times. And then, hours later, Summer Wells vanished. And suddenly that moment, that cold look, and that unknown man became something she could never shake. The woman says it was his expression that made her uneasy. Not a flash of anger, not even aggression, but something far more unsettling. He didn't look at her with recognition or
Okay, so if it was so unsettling and so bothersome, why has she never went to law enforcement?
curiosity. He looked right through her, as if she didn't matter, as if she wasn't even
Yeah,
there.
Darby.
She remembers no smile, no polite nod, just that tense, fixed jaw, and a stare that made her instinctively want to look away. It wasn't just cold, it was hollow, the way someone looks when they're not simply annoyed or distracted, but when they have no interest in appearing human at all. His body language made it worse. Hands tucked deep into his pockets, shoulders stiff, feet planted firmly as though he didn't plan
Now
to.
they have all this detail from somebody who was driving by, supposedly, allegedly. I don't believe any of it, but okay.
Move. He wasn't leaning casually on a vehicle or checking a phone. He wasn't making small talk. He looked like someone who came there for a reason. Very specific, very focused, and had no intention of being interrupted. She said Don seemed to be the one talking more, his body facing the man in a way that suggested they were discussing something serious, not casual news, not a neighborly hello, something that required a private moment. Whatever it was, the stranger didn't seem pleased, shocked, or even curious. He just stood there absorbing it, quiet, stone-faced. The woman kept moving. She didn't stop her car. She didn't slow down to stare, but she felt something tighten in her stomach.
Okay, wait a
Her
minute.
mind told her to just.
Okay. She didn't slow down. She didn't stop. But she got all this information just from a quick glance as she's driving down the highway. Get the fuck out. Come on. Really?
Keep going. And she did. But what stands out is this. She never forgot it. The man's face, his posture, the energy around that brief moment. Days later, when the news broke that Summer Wells had vanished, this woman says that was the first thing that flashed in her mind. That cold, expressionless face.
But yet she never went to law enforcement, right? Because wasn't this before Summer even went missing? Mm-hmm. According to you, I question it happening at all, but
On Ben Hill Road. She couldn't
yeah,
prove
Darby.
anything. She couldn't say he did anything. But something about that moment stuck, like a splinter she couldn't shake loose. And for years she told no one but close family. Until now, what makes this sighting so unsettling isn't just the man's face, it's when she saw him. June 15th, 2020, the very same day Summer Wells disappeared. And not long after this sighting, the Wells family would call 911 to report their 5-year-old daughter missing. The woman believes she passed the property in the late afternoon, hours before the police and media arrived, before dogs and helicopters flooded the hillside. At that point, no one had sounded the alarm. There were no reporters, no news alerts, no missing posters yet. Just an ordinary rural day, except for that man. If her memory is accurate, this wasn't a stranger.
That's got to be, I think, kind of impossible because he was at work. And that's been proven that he was at work. So I don't think it was Dawn if this happened and she actually saw someone briefly as quick as she was driving by, going down the highway. I don't think it was him. That could be a possibility.
Showing up after Summer vanished. This was during the calm before the storm, when everything still looked normal, at least on the surface. That places the stranger directly in the timeline, before law enforcement even knew a crime may have occurred. That one timestamp changes everything. Because official narratives have always revolved around family members present and a narrow window where Summer disappeared. If a man outside the family was on that property, and if he hasn't been identified or accounted for publicly, then every theory, from abduction to conspiracy to premeditation, has to be re-examined. It raises questions. Was this a planned meeting, a debt, a threat, a handoff, or just a random moment with no connection at all? If the woman's memory is real, and if law enforcement finds it credible enough to investigate, then this could be the first time in years where the case opens a brand new door. The obvious question is, why did she keep this to herself for so long? How does someone witness something so unsettling on the very day a child disappears and remain silent?
Yeah, but allegedly he was standing at the end of the driveway. Yeah.
For nearly 3 years.
But she didn't slow down. She didn't stop. She didn't slow down. She kept on going, hightailed it on out there.
Her answer, in her own quiet words, is fear of being wrong, fear of turning a tragedy into her own spotlight moment, fear of saying the wrong thing and becoming a target. When the Summer Wells case exploded online, it didn't take long for the internet to turn cruel.
No. If she would have just kept her mouth shut and went to law enforcement and her would have been the only ones to know.
Theories became accusations. Names were dragged through the mud. And anyone who stepped forward with a story that didn't fit someone else's theory was labeled a liar, an attention seeker, or worse. She didn't want to be that. She didn't want to be called just another rumor. And besides, she told herself maybe it meant nothing. Maybe it was just a visitor, an uncomfortable expression, nothing more. So she stayed quiet, told a few close relatives, and kept the memory locked away. Until now. Something changed recently. Maybe it was a public plea from law enforcement. Maybe it was a news segment, replaying the timeline once again. And this time, the guilt finally outweighed the fear. Maybe she realized that her silence could be part of what's keeping the truth hidden. She said she couldn't keep asking herself what if anymore. What if that man knew something? What if that moment mattered? What if speaking up, even late, was still better than never speaking at all? So now, years later, she's decided to share what she saw. Not because she wants attention, and not because she thinks she knows the whole story, but because maybe, just maybe, this one memory could help crack open a case.
No, honey. What you put in your thumbnail was you proved Dawn did it. You didn't say what, but you said he did it.
Case that has been sealed by silence for far too long. This sighting opens several possibilities, and each one tells a very different story. Could this have been an arranged meeting? Maybe Dawn Wells and this unknown man were deliberately talking about something private, away from phones, away from the house. A conversation planned ahead
No one's ice. Everybody reviewed her today.
of time. About what? We don't know. But serious enough not to greet a passing neighbor or act casually in public. Or was the man scouting the area, standing stiff, hands in pockets, barely talking, watching everything? If he was planning something, a kidnapping, a break-in, a later crime, this could have been a reconnaissance visit. Checking routes, looking for weak points, knowing who was home and who wasn't. Could he be connected directly to an abduction theory? If this man later came back, or
why are you doing this? This is not factual information. It is bullcrap. You clickbaited the hell out of your thumbnail, and this you should not be doing, because you said Dawn did it. You have proof. This doesn't prove anything.
never left. This sighting may be a missing link investigators always needed. Someone outside the family circle, but
this would have been of utmost importance if this truly happened the day that she disappeared. And this woman sat there with her mouth shut all this time. I call BS. Just my opinion.
Clearly present and engaged with Dawn before Summer disappeared.
Yeah,
or was it something completely innocent? A worker, a contractor, someone looking for directions, a random stranger with a cold face on a hot day. Sometimes the human brain attaches meaning to a moment after a tragedy because it needs a reason. It needs a face to connect to the grief, and memory gets sharper or distorted the longer it sits in silence. That's why we must be disciplined here. This is not a verdict. It's a lead that needs to be.
It's not a lead, though. It's not a lead. Sorry, but in my opinion, it's not a lead. And you already have this man convicted and condemned because your thumbnail says so.
Logged, cross-checked, tested. A lead that should be treated as neither truth nor lie, until the evidence proves which one it is. The woman who gave this statement says she's not accusing Dawn, or the man, or anyone. She's simply telling what she remembers. That's not proof, but it is.
Now, she does understand that Dawn was at work that day, right? And what time of day did she see him? Allegedly at the end of the driveway, while she's flying, 55, 65 miles an hour down the highway. But yet she could totally describe every inch of him, that his hands was in his pocket, the look on his face, from out on the road driving in a car. Are you kidding me? Whatever. Yeah, it is.
A piece. And in a puzzle this fractured, every piece deserves a place on the table. If investigators believe this woman's account is credible, their first step won't be to go public. It will be to verify everything quietly.
Whoever this creator is, wow. Oh, it probably is. That's it's not the creator. That's clear. It probably is. But they're wrong, and they shouldn't put this out. This is the thumbnail says that he did it, and they can prove it. This hasn't proven anything.
Behind the scenes.
Wow, listen to them. What the hell is that?
They may begin with a formal second interview, capturing every detail she can remember: the color of the man's clothing, the type of vehicle parked nearby, any accent or movement, even the approximate height and build. These details could be used to create a composite sketch, not for the media, necessarily.
Wow, that was the weirdest. I could have sworn that sounded, that's weird. Like police units. I don't know. That was really weird, but it was far away, but weird and loud.
But for internal databases.
Yeah, well, it's just showing old footage of the Wells place where they live and pictures of summer. That's all they're showing.
And cross-referencing. Then they'll move to the timeline. Was Don expected to meet anyone that day? Are there phone records, text messages, or call logs that place him in communication with?
You do know that law enforcement has checked all this out, and they have never made them suspects or charged them with anything.
Someone outside the family before Summer disappeared. Investigators can compare cell tower pings, find out if anyone else.
It's not going to make the news because this is some bullshit, in my opinion.
Else's phone was on or near Ben Hill Road at that same hour. They might even go back to nearby surveillance cameras, not on the property itself, but at gas stations, local roads, stores, looking for footage of a stranger's vehicle heading toward or away from that area. And finally, they'll look at past statements Don has given. Did he ever voluntarily mention someone visiting? Did he leave someone out? If so, why? At this stage, a good detective doesn't jump to conclusions, but they don't dismiss these things either. A sighting like this doesn't solve the case, but it can act like a lever. It can force the investigation to shift direction, however slightly. And in a case where so many leads have gone nowhere, slightly might be all we need. This eyewitness account doesn't just add a new piece to the puzzle. It puts pressure on every theory we've been working with for the past 3 years. If someone truly saw Don speaking with a stranger that day, the classic stranger abduction theory suddenly gains new traction. For years, many believed it was unlikely a random outsider could find that property, approach unnoticed, and take a child in minutes. But if there was a stranger physically present before Summer disappeared, one who looked intense, secretive, uncomfortable, it gives that theory new oxygen. But
I'm gonna tell you what, this witness, this woman, she's seen a lot the couple seconds she got to look at over there, huh? From quite a distance too. But was able to see what they were doing with their hands, what their facial expressions were, and yeah. Okay. But she never stopped her car or even slowed her car down.
Doesn't clear the family. Instead, it creates a possible
that would be nice.
Hybrid theory. Family involvement plus outside accomplice. Something planned, something coordinated. A handoff, a debt, a threat, or even an argument that escalated into something bigger. Meanwhile, the theory of a purely accidental fall or misadventure becomes harder to maintain. If someone else
No, it doesn't. Law enforcement has turned them upside down and inside out.
Was there that day, intentionally meeting Don, it complicates the idea that this was a simple accident covered.
Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't heard it officially from law enforcement, but I've heard it on the YouTube streets. Hey, we love you.
Up in panic. Panic usually doesn't involve strangers. For people who believe a family member was involved from the inside, this sighting won't disprove it, but it could shift where they think the help.
No, and this has always been my opinion. I do think that it was someone local. I think it was someone up on that mountain, be it a resident or a visitor to one of the residents. But that's just my opinion. It was someone that was familiar with the terrain. That's just my opinion. But hey.
Or the motive came from. It opens a new question. Was someone else on Ben Hill Road to make sure something happened? Once again, this doesn't confirm guilt. It doesn't prove innocence. It doesn't give us an arrest. But it rattles the street.
You said you could prove it, that you were proving that Dawn did it. That's exactly what your description and your thumbnail says. But yet now you're saying it's not. You a clickbait and exploiting piece of crap, if you ask me.
Structure. It challenges the comfort of sticking to one single theory. And in a cold case, that shake is sometimes exactly what's needed. The moment this woman's statement began circling online, reaction from the community was immediate and divided. Some locals started to come forward in comment sections and Facebook groups saying they too recalled a strange vehicle parked near the Wells property weeks or days before the disappearance.
And not surprised. Of course, people are going to come out the woodwork and say, oh, yeah, I remember that. I drove past there. Come on.
Others claim they remember a man they didn't recognize, briefly seen on a side road or at the gas station near Beach Creek Road. Suddenly, memories that had been silent for years began to resurface, or at least people believe they did, but not everyone agrees. There are neighbors who deny ever seeing anyone unusual. Some insist they never saw a strange man in the area, and they're frustrated by what they see as yet another distraction from the real investigation.
Exploitation. Summer's been y'all's cash cow for how long? Stop exploiting this child and stop putting out this crap you know isn't true.
But that division is normal. In almost every cold case, the community splits, half holding on to one theory, and half convinced the noise is drowning out the truth. Online, the debate is just as intense.
7, 8 years old, somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Some users believe she's credible, that what she saw could explain the entire disappearance. Others call it hearsay, or attention seeking. Some accuse her of coming forward too late. Others say she's brave for speaking at all. And once again, the story begins to fracture between belief and doubt. But
I don't call it brave. I call it looking for 5 minutes.
The part that matters. Credible or not, every tip gets logged. Investigators document them, compare them, run them against evidence. Because in cases like this, it's often the one detail everyone thought was pointless that breaks the case open. As the sun sets over Ben Hill Road, the hills return to their quiet stillness. Yet the echoes of what happened that day, June 15, 2021, remain alive. The sighting of Don Wells speaking with a stranger, shared by a woman who carried it in silence for years, has reminded us all how fragile truth can be, and how close it can sometimes hide in plain sight. Summer Wells deserves justice. Every lead, every memory.
She'd be older than that, wouldn't she? She was what, 3 or 4? Or no, she was 5 when she went missing, right?
Every observation matters. This new statement isn't proof. It's a spark that could reignite search efforts, open doors, and perhaps indicators closer to answers the Wells family has waited for so long. As viewers, your role matters too.
Okay, so let's look at her thumbnail because all she's going to say is call in your tips. Yeah. I saw Don Wells. I will not deny it. But if you exit out of here and you go to this Detective Max, whoever this is, their channel, look at the channel. Shocking update I heard ever. I mean, this one just goes on and on with their clickbaited thumbnails and shit and everything. Silent confession. The liar found unnoticed. This one says she took Summer Wells. Finally, exposed liar. But over here, it says Dawn did it. But then you go to 2 days ago, and it was a she did it. And I think this is a channel built on AI. I do. But YouTube's not happy with that, and they're not going to keep channels like that with the AI crap. Those mountains hold secrets. Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. But yeah, this is crazy. I'm going to dig a little deeper into this channel. Okay. I just wanted to play it out for you. I just thought it was pretty gross. Pretty total exploitation and oh, that baby. Ugh. Oh my god, I found another crazy TikToker called Donut Mom. Have y'all ever heard of Donut Mom? You want to watch it? It's short. You want to watch that and then get into Brooke, or do you want to just get into Brooke? Give me a one if you want to watch the newest Lowcow TikToker, Donut Mom, or do you want to just get into Brooke? A one for Donut Mom, two for Brooke. Lucia, member for 4 months. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. See, y'all, you can become misfits like Lucia. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. I do have a small goal. I think I only picked 5. Yeah, there you go. That's my shtick. Sorry, I'm trying not to click my lighter, but if I click my lighter, then I don't smoke. So I just click my lighter. So it's a tie right now. 2 1s for Brooke and 2 2s for, or 2 1s for Donut Mom and 2 2s for Brooke. Brooke is mad at the world, y'all. She hates the world, and she gonna tell you all about it. And she gonna tell you how it's everybody's fault, that everything's ever happened to her since the second she was born. It is everybody's fault. Click all you want. Thank you, Darby. Donut Mom. We need a tiebreaker. Well, I wonder what I did. Like, well, it's tied. Um, we can watch a little bit of Brooke, and then we can go to Donut Mom. How's that? We'll do both. Hey, JB, because yeah, Donut Moms is a short video though. We could probably get through that in like 15 minutes. You're camping? Oh, have fun. Enjoy. Oh, thank you. Hey, Cherry P member for 19 months. Holy cow. Thank you. Oh, I love you too. You're awesome. I'm here because of you guys. Hey, Ange Carter. Hey, you're never late. Thank you for coming in. Do I need a lawyer? You sure do. Yes, ma'am. We all need lawyers here. Yes. Well, I didn't put this on, it put itself on. So that's telling me something. We'll start with Brooke and then we'll finish up with Donut Mom. Oh, wait do y'all see Donut Mom? Oh boy. Boy, boy, boy. Okay. I'm gonna speed Brookie here up because if not, she'll drive us nuts. Um, sometimes I actually find her entertaining. I'm just starting to watch her. And I've been watching a lot of Steve's videos because he's been reviewing her for a long time. But I'm looking for older stuff, to get her vibe, and her history. Oh, we're going to watch them both. I figure since it was a tie, we'll just watch them both. Well, that would be something at the same time. Brooke and Donut Mom on the same screen at the same time. That'd be some wild shit. Everybody be thinking they ate some acid.
Doing is wrong. So they wanted to deflect on me because I have a criminal record from over 20 years ago. It's crazy. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Wait a minute. Let me back us up because she's raring to go as soon as she fires up the slide. This was like a month, 4 weeks ago. But things have changed because either she was able to go get her bike. She makes it. I'll play it and I'll tell you as we go on because she
I had to make arrangements in order to have my things in one area so that I have food and water and a means to an end, right? All of that hard work for nothing. We're back at square one. Oh, except with no bike. Seriously, it could get a lot worse. And it probably will. This is the fucking reality. being a channel owner, I'm starting to see that it's going to be damn near impossible to find people to get close to, because people want to hurt you when you own a channel. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know if it's envy. I don't know if it's confusion. I don't know. I don't understand it. I am not famous. I did not join this platform to fucking become famous. I joined this platform to tell my story in hopes of helping other people over and over and over, to a point that I'm exhausted from telling my story. And so now I shut up about it. I just want to talk about what's going on currently. Because when I was talking about the past, nobody was listening. People called me a liar. People got me fired from my job. People called the cops and had me arrested for crimes I didn't commit. I've already had one of the roughest fucking lives that a human can fucking fathom. Yeah. One of the roughest fucking lives that a human can fathom. And I've never done anything like people have done to me. But time and time again, I'm put in this position. For over 20 years now, I've tried to escape this. God for
what? Are you aware of your own record and your own history? Okay, just checking. Just checking.
Forsaken town and be able to stand on my own two goddamn feet. And when I was this close with a $1,300 check in October of last year from Google, when I was this close, a lie sent me back to jail after almost 10 years of no fucking trouble, and everything was twisted around on me. And here I am, back in the same goddamn position that I was trying so fucking hard for 22 years to fucking escape. And you motherfuckers play.
So you've been homeless for 22 years? I thought it was 2 years. Okay.
Right into it. You know, it's just crazy.
She might.
It's crazy that all of this bad shit has happened to me. What's even crazier is that I try to talk.
I have to, and that's why I know it. And believe me, it's cost me, because but every time I do a live, I try to add more and more away from Brittany, and it's cost me. But hey, my true supporters are here. If they only were coming because of Brittany drama, I'm sorry, but there's other things in life than Brittany. I never
about it, and motherfuckers want a victim.
I've never just covered one person. Not since I started my channel. I've always covered whoever I felt like, when I felt like, you know, but I've never just concentrated solely on one person. Donut Mom's a treat, though. Y'all are gonna like her.
You ain't gonna do that around here. You won't be here very long. I know what I've been through. I was there. You weren't. Matter of fact, there's a fucking record of everything I've been through, from foster care to molestation to physical beatings, being raped, to being trafficked, to the deaths, to me dying. There's a record of it all. They had to bring me back. EMS records, hospital records. Everything I speak of, there's a fucking record for it. From the foster care system to
when you OD'd, because didn't you OD?
My bicycle.
I'm just asking because I'm just learning about you. But, you know, just asking because that's been put out here that you've OD'd, that you've made those statements yourself. I don't know. I'm asking.
Missing all of a sudden this afternoon. And it's not missing.
She claims to have been trafficked, yes, at a very young age. Oh, she got her bike back. Oh, you're going to hear what happened. You think that it's really bad and it's the end of the world, but wait till you find out what really happened. And you're going to be like, get the fuck out of here, okay? Yeah.
I know exactly where it's at. It's at the woods with my shit, but I can't get over there.
See, her bike's not gone. She left her bike and her belongings and took off and went somewhere and was hanging out and was supposed to get a ride back, but it evidently didn't. So she's having a meltdown.
The bike, if I knew I wasn't going to have a ride back, but it looks like I ain't got no ride back. So yeah, you ain't going to come around here victim blaming me. I've had one of the hardest motherfucking lives that a human can fathom. And I'm a better person than most people out here. But society will lie to you and say otherwise because they hate themselves. And they know that I see through their bullshit. And they know that what they're doing is wrong. So they want to deflect on me because I have a criminal record from over 20 years ago. It's crazy. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
No, you was just in jail again, dear.
Yeah, you're not going to victim blame over here. As a matter of fact, we're going to do things differently over here. Way different. Rationally. With common sense and care. Wouldn't it be some shit to make it through everything I've made it through and I get struck by fucking lightning? Hey, I know where I'm going though. Bring it on. I've been begging. Please fucking strike me dead. Do me a miracle, please.
I know.
Get me out of this shithole. Y'all, tell me why I was in the gym and this lady was in
Crazy.
there.
She was
These old ladies
staying
was in there doing a personal fitness session.
She was staying with a guy, but he trespassed her and ran her off. I think she still goes there to shower, in my opinion. Yeah, and then she has this. I guess somehow they were connected to her growing up, but it through the system or something, and or she was living with this couple or something. I don't know, and she goes back there. Hey, Wolf Rider. I just this. I don't believe she's spending every night out in the street. Her clothes are well taken, are very clean. She has new, different clothing on every day. She only carries a little backpack, so no way she's carrying around all those clothes. Um, I don't know, and she eats really good, damn good, really damn good. I mean, um, she has she has a storage unit supposedly, um, but you can't sleep in your storage unit at night because they make sure there's no one in there at night. Um, I just, yeah, I, I,
I really think that they pay for a companionship because their female instructor and them were just hanging out the whole time.
I had rental property in a beach town, and I dealt with a lot of homeless. And I have to be honest, were they all filthy? No, but none were as well groomed and kept as her. They didn't sit and eat all these meals from all these restaurants, they just didn't. They didn't order all this takeout. They didn't go grocery shopping and buy expensive things to go cook when you don't have nowhere to cook it. But surprisingly enough, voila, you come up with a place to cook it. They didn't have 4 phones with active service contracts. They didn't have storage units. I don't know. They weren't as well groomed. Let's just say that. Um, yeah. No, they don't, Darby, but you can't stay in them after dark anymore. Once they close, they're closed. That's it. Because, people tried that here and that's why things change. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. But honestly, I don't want her out there. I hope that she does find her way. And, but right now, I think this is how she's making her money.
I do. I think that these little elderly women around here pay for companionship from their PT, which there's nothing wrong with that. But there was a lot of tea being spilled and no working out going on, and so I was like, I bet these little old ladies just love to come in here and shoot the shit with this girl every week. I mean, she seems like a nice girl. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, this is different than Florida. There's no talking in the gyms down there. People are getting it done. Okay. Get out of their way. Yeah, my shoes are torn to shit. Look at that. I just bought these 3 months ago from Goodwill, and they're already torn up, and they're supposed to be $150 tennis shoes, and they were brand new when I bought them. Trying to prevent my back from getting wet. I'm really pissed right now. I've never been able to rely on people ever. Not one singular person. I cannot think of one time in my entire life that I was able to rely on someone. Not once. Nobody keeps their word. Everybody's a fucking flake. And more often than not, people will do shit like this just to put you in a bad position because they can. It just, I guess, narcissists. It just makes me feel all tingly.
Lady Creations the other day, some dude was at a car wash around the corner from where she was standing, and he was playing music. It was a self-serve car wash. You wash your own vehicle, right? She rides her bike over there and jumps all over this man, and he just jumped in his fucking truck and booked it. Man, he was like, "Fuck this nut job. I'll wash my truck later." All because of the music he was playing. She said he was stalking her and following her and harassing her. It was wild.
Over to fuck your day up. I don't know. I can't explain it. Never would I ever. And like I said, like if I knew somebody was in my position, I would be there for them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey. No, I'm good. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. I'm on the phone, but hello. I appreciate it. You too. Well, thank you. Oh yeah.
What is she doing?
No, but what was your name? Nice to meet you, and thank you so much. You too. Y'all be safe in the rain. Bye. Oh, that was sweet. So she pulled up. She said she follows me, and she said she was wondering if I needed a ride. Thank you,
Well,
Tabitha. You're
there
so
was
sweet.
your
See, and this
ride.
is what
Wait
happened.
a minute. You're sitting here ranting and raving because you can't get a ride to where you left your bike in your backpack. That lady just offered you a ride, said she watches you and knows you needed a ride, and you said no. Okay.
With PTSD. This is what codependency is. You can't trust
This
new
is
people.
Brooke,
You run
Joyce.
back to old people that have constantly did you fucking wrong because, well, you know what I guess you know what they're gonna give you. New people sketch you out even more. Ain't that fucking sad?
She says she's homeless, has been for a couple years. I guess you just be the judge. I mean, like I said, she ooh,
And you're trapped in the fucking cycle. Not to mention if you happen to have any legal documentation or legal ties to somebody, it makes the whole situation worse. For instance, I decided to call the
okay.
EPT.
She's homeless, but she's always clean, well groomed. Her clothes are always clean. She always has different clothes on. She never wears the same thing every day. You know, she doesn't carry a lot of stuff with her, so she's not carrying all these clothes. She also goes grocery shopping and meal preps, and out of nowhere has a place to, go and cook these meals and use her laptop and go live and with her 4 phones that are all under service contracts. Um, yeah, it's wild. And I guess she goes to her storage unit and gets stuff. I'm thinking, I don't know. She wants a ride from a man. Might be.
Office to ask them if I would qualify for EBT because I need it, right? And she said, well, you can't qualify here. She said, because your last mailing address was in Stokes County. I said, ma'am, I had food stamps in for SIFE for 6 months or a year back in 2024. I said, I stopped getting it at the beginning of 2025. I said, I actually don't even have my card. I cut it up, got rid of it because I didn't know, And she said, well, you were never even supposed to get food stamps in this county anyway. She said, you were supposed to go to Stokes because that was your last mailing address, which was my abuser's address. So if I even want food stamps, I actually have to go here in this county to even apply for them.
But you're in that county, so why don't you go apply?
I can't just up and go somewhere else and get help. And y'all,
that's bull crap. That's bull. You no longer reside at that residence. You no longer reside in that county.
some of y'all, I know that some of y'all, maybe some of y'all just don't know. Maybe some of y'all just don't know. Somebody was in my comment section talking about subsidized housing and about me qualifying for subsidized housing. Bless your heart. It's okay. Let me do the thinking for you. Do you see any children? Oh, I don't qualify. I'm not elderly. I'm working able. I'm an able-bodied person. I don't qualify for housing, honey. Most adults don't. There's only specific There's only specific circumstances that a able-bodied adult would even qualify for subsidized and or low-income housing. You gotta meet the.
Here, there's a 3 to 4 year waiting list for even getting into what they call government housing or the projects or whatever you want to call them. There's a 3 to 4 year waiting list just for that. Forget anything else. There's not a whole bunch of help out here. There isn't. Not just for you. It's not just because you're single. It's just how this county, there's not a lot of help out there. I mean, there's just not. You'll end up in the street homeless, and they don't have no shelter for families. They have a 2-unit shelter that's booked solid all the time for families. It can hold 2 families. The other shelters through the Salvation Army, they don't take children, and the one don't take women. And that's not even up here. It's in another county. Yeah, there's not a lot here. So.
Criteria. I don't. I know I'm homeless. I know, bitch. I know. That's what I said. I'm homeless. That's what I said. And she said, well, you ain't got no football team of children, honey. I said, yes, ma'am. I know. And you also ain't on no Social Security. I know. You also don't have a disability. Yep, you're right. Now it's starting to make sense, don't it? Now it's starting to make sense, doesn't it? Not everyone, homeless or not, Not everyone qualifies for subsidized housing, low income housing, and or housing assistance. Not to mention, we've already do I need to go down memory lane when it comes to the homeless shelter? Because
that's kind of, they will put individuals in your situation. Yes, they do give them a subsidized housing in government housing, whatever you want to call them, the low income, whatever you want to call them. But I've known plenty of single people who have gotten in and actually paid either like $25 a month rent or no rent for so many months. And then they paid minimal rent after. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Cause
it's laughable. The closest homeless
not up here in this county, it was in another county, but the way Florida is, the counties are, anyway.
shelter next to me is an hour away. My book bag is getting soaked. Look at the puddle. The closest one is an hour away. They are only open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So where do the homeless people sleep? Great question. Not there.
No, shelters usually aren't open during the day. In fact, you can go at night and then you have to be out in the morning. They typically aren't open during the day unless there's a huge heat wave and it's going to be very dangerous outside, which they've been known to do where the shelters are in Florida. But most shelters, unless it's a special occurrence, are not open during the day. And that's not just Florida. That's also in other states. You're required to leave the shelter first thing in the morning.
They sleep on the streets like the other homeless people. It's called the Interactive Resource Center. And matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, they found a dead body in the parking lot. A young 25-year-old white male had been shot dead in the parking lot of the Resource Center. So as you can see, it's not safe, nor is it a place for homeless people to actually be. Making sure I ain't got nothing in here that's wet. Like that'll get wet and explode like a vape or, I don't know, earphones. I'm not even joking. There are no resources for homeless people. It is a lie, you guys. A lie. All of it. Everything. The fact that people don't know this is just crazy. Look at this beautiful girl. Look at this beautiful girl. And I'm going to shout this girl out because her channel's doing pretty decent, but it needs more. Look at this beautiful girl. Her channel is called It's Not Quite Van Life. She does not have a van. She's actually homeless like me. We are the new faces of homelessness.
You know that
this is not 1965.
Isn't that the one that's a fraud that stole that girl's work and claimed it as her own? Or am I getting her confused with someone else?
More. Fortunately, we have resources nowadays, whether it's the river or a gym membership. In my little town, we have a rec center where I can pay $4 to wash up if need be. We are the new faces of homelessness. Specifically because we simply cannot afford rent. Back in the day, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, those bums chose to do drugs and drink. Us bums simply can't afford rent. I make money. Not very much. But I make enough to make a truck payment or a rent payment. Nothing else would be left over, about $1,000 a month. This girl ran away from home at 17. I'm willing to bet that that's her business, but I'm willing to bet probably had something to do with abuse in the home. This is the same thing I did when I was her age. I was 16 and I got missing. People are not asking her how she survives in the desert heat or the winter weather. They were talking about how perfect her hair was and how she has to be faking homelessness. It's so reminiscent of my channel where people are so concerned about things they shouldn't be instead of being supportive for me. The way that they live out of their backpack and their hair looks amazing.
Doesn't she live in a van? A conversion van?
First of all, I like her channel. I wish my channel was more like hers. She's just like so peaceful and she's accepted that life. I think she's been homeless for about 2 or 3 years now. She's probably like 9.
Exactly, Sherry PC. I'm not kidding. There in my county, there's very limited help, and it's sad for the county. Besides the county I live in, I mean, you got over 100,000 people. You need to have. It's Florida. It's a transient state. You need to have better resources. It's very limited. There's really not much. Like I said, there's one family shelter. They can house 2 families. That's always full. There's really nothing up here. And as far as any kind of assisted low-income housing or assistance with housing, unless you're lucky enough to get picked on the list, there's nothing. There's some agencies, local charities, churches and stuff that help out minimally, Like they'll help with an electric bill or a water bill, but they're not going to help pay, $2,000 or $3,000 to get you into your own place, your own apartment, whatever it is. And rents are crazy here. People can't afford them. Um, but that bigger county bordering that connects with my county, they do have a lot more resources. There's still a waiting list, but it's not as bad. But they also have emergency shelters, programs too. And I know, working in the foster care system, plenty of single people who didn't have children, who had a situation similar to hers, were given housing and low income housing. So it does happen. It's just sadly, there's just not enough. There's, you know, but that county is a hell of a lot better as far as resources than our county. And that county could use some help. But my county's awful. It is awful. And it's a shame. And then when someone needs help, and the sheriff's department comes or something, they give them this thing and says, "Here, call this agency. It's blah blah cares," you know, and they can't give you anything. All they are is they give you all the numbers that everybody else gives you, so you can be told the same thing, or they'll tell you, "Well, we don't have any numbers for that because there is no help available." It's like, why bother? It's know what you're giving out before you give it out, is what I'm saying. There needs to be more. There's just not enough. There's just not. And if you don't have any children, it does put you lower on the list. And honestly, it doesn't matter what, if you're older, they don't care. There's just, it's sad. There needs to be more. There does.
19, maybe going on 20. Apparently she goes into the city for the summer, and then in the winter when it gets cold, she goes out to the desert where it's warmer. But you all know the conditions in the desert are just like the conditions out here in the mountains. It's dangerous. You could die. Apparently she travels with a bunch of nomads, and they all hang out together and help each other. And the issue with that type of life is that a lot of those nomad traveling, I don't know what to call them, cults. The problem with that is there tends to be, because of the younger crowd, there tends to be some drugs involved. And so this is why I stay away from homeless encampments like that, because even if the majority of people are not doing drugs, you always got that 1 or 5 loose heads that are out there doing meth in the middle of the night. And I don't hang around people, much less people that do drugs. Okay. So I don't want to be in a homeless encampment. I don't want to be in a campground. I don't want to be in a homeless shelter. That is where your recovery is going to be on the line. You are better off by yourself, trusting 1 or 2. People, somewhere to have a fridge, somewhere to cook your food, somewhere to wash your ass. Like, you're going to have resources in order to make it. And as you can see by my current circumstances, people are not reliable. People want to play with your life. Your income upsets you. I don't understand you guys. I don't at all. I explain to people, listen, here's the thing. All right, let's say somebody wants you in their life, right? Let's say some girl is like obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with you. I want you in my life. Come in my life. Would I not do anything?
Don't tell me I was muted all that time. Our county could do something like that, but they won't. Was I muted all that time? It's just sad that our county, the size of our county, and there's not much. I'm not muted now. I'm not muted now. It just sucks the size of our county, and there's really no assistance. I've reached out to some people that needs to change. That really needs to change. And you know what got me all looking into it? All this. I have no idea. Peoples have been doing that for the past week, off and on, perfectly imperfect. Good to see you. Yeah, she did do that too. She stabbed 2 ladies, yeah. Yeah.
And everything to make you happy, to try to not love bomb you, but show you my better side so that you would want to be around me. Am I crazy? Because see, if I want to be around somebody and I want them to want to be around me, I'm gonna be sweet as pie and accommodating and try to help them in any manner that I can so that I can lighten their load and be their rock in some manner. But you know, it's crazy because I've never had a singular person in my whole damn life do that for me. Not one person bend over backwards to make me happy. Not one person can. I don't know how can I put it in a concept? Put it into a concept, Brooke. All right, I got it, I grasped it. I love to cook, right? And there's been people that I've dated in the past, and I would get off of work early, or I didn't have to work till that night, and our schedules were opposite, and I would go out of my way to cook this lovely dinner and, you know, dress the table, have the candles going, and so many people were unappreciative of shit like that. Like, come in with a bad mood, not even give me a kiss at the door, and then you see that I've like cooked this dinner, and you can't even be appreciative of that. Not only did I cook you a dinner, but I also packed you a lunch for tomorrow, and you literally come in a bad mood, starting an argument, and the night just goes to shit. So many times I've had that happen, and it's crazy to me. Crazy. You know, I was about to say, why would somebody do that? I just think that people are narcissistic. I think they're ungrateful. Why would somebody do that? I don't know. I know I could never do that. And quite the opposite. If I see that somebody has went out of the way for me, which nobody ever does, I'm not even joking in the slightest. If I saw that somebody went out of their way for me, I would want to be more accommodating and like bend over backwards to make them happy for being so good to me, you know? It really sucks. It really sucks to have this extremely caring side, because I go from 100 to 0 real quick, you know, or 0 to 100. And like, I'm on both ends of the spectrum. Like, I'm the most sweet Aaron person you'll ever meet, but I'm also the bitch that might slit your throat if you cross me the wrong way. So it's like, I can go from one extreme to the other. It sucks to have the desire to want to be.
Yes, you can. In a matter of 2 seconds, you can. It's wild.
Kind and sweet and completely just a dandelion. And have to be an actual line because of my circumstances. And also, you know, people are changing. They're a lot more sensitive and soft than they used to be. And I'm extremely rough around the edges. Oh crap, I forgot to close that. I did do a small workout, but it was nothing to brag about. I'm just pre-mensing so bad. Like, and then I didn't have my nicotine patch, and I've been doing so good on those. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't get enough credit. I really don't.
You've been doing so good on those, you never keep the vape away from your mouth.
I really don't. You know, it's so crazy. It's so crazy that I've never done a singular thing that people have done to me to other people. But I get the bad rap because I run my mouth on the internet. But people can suck my cock. I live on the streets. I don't want to hear it. God, they freaking die if they had my childhood. They freaking die if they had to go through the shit that I've been through. They
always got different cups, and not because she buys a new one every day. Come on, that would be insanity. I'm telling you, something don't sit right here.
Freaking die if they had their daughter illegally stolen from them. They'd be in a mental hospital. I don't want to hear it.
She tells everybody that her daughter was illegally taken from her. Stolen, as a matter of fact. Yeah. This is Brooke, Amy, or Perfectly Imperfect.
Don't want to hear it.
She claims she's 100% homeless. I've got questions and doubts.
And then the whole Planet Fitness thing, and then the truck thing, and my job thing. You know, not one person, even in my following, has had my back. Not one person that I can said, you know what, Brooke, that's fucked up. And this is why I stay away from people, because if that was
you get plenty of support. You do get financial support from your chat, Brooke.
You bitch, I'd be ready to cut a motherfucker. Do you hear me? Bitch, we ride it down to where whoever got you fired to house. And this is why I stay away. This is why I'm a felon, because I'm real. Yeah, that makes me real. Phonies call your job and get you fired. Real ass people show up and whoop your ass. Fake people are scared and they act like cowards. They can only be petty and passive aggressive. Real people punch you in the throat. I miss those days. Take me back, please. Please. You know, there was a lot more respect back then. Not only did people respect each other more, but they respected themselves more. I think that I petition for them to graduate and receive a diploma and a throat punching at the same time. Hear me out. Hear me out. If they come off the graduation stage and we're like, here's your diploma. I just think we should try it at like 2 high schools and see if those people act more mature and like adults and ethical than the ones that don't get throat punched. Let's do a study in a small town.
Okay. So.
Oh, welcome to adulthood. Throat.
She wants to throat punch graduating seniors so they can be welcomed into adulthood. She posts a lot. Perfect. A lot.
Punch and diploma. You graduated. Congratulations. Fist to the throat. And I bet you those people that get throat punched, they'll do better and have a higher level of respect for others and themselves than the people that don't get throat punched. I'm telling you, there has to be a reason that these people are out here getting cloned. They act like they're being cloned, okay? They really do. It's like the same carbon copies just over and over. It's like, surprise me by being authentic. You can't do that, boss. Being authentic puts a target on your back in today's society. It really does. Going against the grain, that's being authentic. Anything outside of going against the grain is a sheep. I don't make the rules. It is what it is. Either you're a follower or you're a leader. You're a sheep or you're a wolf. I don't know. I just know that I don't make the rules. It is what it is. I feel like you can't really have a happy life unless you go against the grain and you completely rebel against this bullshit. This made up bullshit. They made all this shit up and it sucks. Their blueprint sucks. Look at this world. I don't want to be a part of it. I wanted to be a part of it for like 2-3 years, remember? And I fought hard. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess chill out here, That's what I'm saying. I can't trust anybody to take me over to that spot because all of my stuff is there. And if, Lord forbid, somebody found out where it was, then I would lose everything that I've worked so hard to hide there. And I just, I don't trust people at all. It's just, you don't understand. You don't understand. Every singular person I've ever tried to get close to has fucked me over. Every single one. I really think it's because they know that I'm incapable of doing that. Even after they've done something wrong to me, I'm not a vengeful person. I actually let it go.
She doesn't. Okay. We're going to move on. This woman is wild.
The eating disorder, right? They like power control, sometimes even over the physical aspect.
Now, she's homeless, but yet she's got containers with leftovers in them. But she's homeless, people. If you watch her and the things she has around her, it raises so many questions.
Of you. So Stephanie picked up on that right away because I talked to her about that. It really bothers me. Protein. You see my priorities, right? This is what pisses people off. It does. They want me to get a damn tent, homie. I need a tent. Screw this protein. Screw this food. I should have bought a tent. You know what I mean? Remember? No, I brought it up. I said it really bothers me that I can't even be grateful. You know how many times this week I've had my lunch pack? Every day that I did that, I filmed it. So it was 2 or 3 days this week I was able to have access to a kitchen and film that for you guys. And now that's done. So it lasted for 2-3 days. I wish that people that actually care about me, I wish that y'all would see that I have literally had every single person in my spectrum aura out here trying to harm me because of my channel. As I said, I don't know if they're jealous. I don't know if they're scared I'm going to tell their secrets.
So people are trying to harm you because you have a YouTube channel. Okay.
I don't know.
Perfectly. There's some red flags for me.
I just know that being a channel owner, it has made everyone, and as I mentioned earlier, it's not like I have a great track record of people being loyal to me. No. People come into my spectrum to try to use me, okay? Let's not forget that I used to make 6 figures. But yeah, I'm being for real. So I already have a bad track record of, it's just got another hole of trust in people. Everybody I trust does me dirty. And then people I don't even know. There's a hole, I don't know where. Oh my God, that's what happened last time. Damn it. I just watched this last night. It's literally everywhere. That's why none of my stuff's in it and I don't have any of my property. Because I had to wash this. And I can't bicycle every single freaking day to the laundromat. Do you realize that you will have to go wash your clothes every day? It's 90% humidity out here right now. My clothes are soaked. And these are the only clothes that I even have on my back. Even if I had one singular other outfit, it's going to be dirty by in the morning. There's so much, y'all, that comes with this that most people would not think of. And I'm here to tell you, if it wasn't for the damn donations that I received the day that my truck was repossessed and the few days after that, I wouldn't have made it this far. Like, Jesus, it's been absolute hell. This is everywhere. It's literally all down in there.
Possible, JB.
It's always something, man. It really is. Every time that I've gotten to a place in my life where I'm finally like in a home and things are going good and like things are stable and I got money in the bank and I'm planning for the future, I'm just telling you, it just all comes crashing down of no fault of my fucking own. Not once. Not once. It's always somebody calling law, lying on me, somebody damn falsifying a fucking police report or some shit. It's just like, and this is why I've learned to stay away from people, because people hate themselves. I don't know. Is it because I'm poor and I've been around poor people and this is how poor people act? I think so. I really do. Because when I get around social circles with people that have higher incomes and higher intellect, I've never had these problems. Matter of fact, 2 of my best relationships in my life were with people that were highly educated, went to prestigious colleges, had their shit together. And if it were not for dating them, I don't think I would be where I was at today. You know, it was dating them that led me to a certain level of awareness and away from degenerates. I don't know. I will say that these types of things, what types of things, Brooke? What types of things? Well, let's talk about specifically me. Being lied on, having the cops called.
She's been around a couple years.
When I didn't even do anything wrong. That whole situation, those bitches knew that I had a channel. The bitches at Planet Fitness, they knew I had a channel. I didn't know that they knew that I had a channel. So that was a personal attack. They were coming over to antagonize me, to try to get a reaction. They wanted me to get in a fight with them. They wanted me to lose everything. That's what I'm talking about. You get in certain higher end social circles and people don't behave that way. They would never.
So you're calling employees at Planet Fitness a higher social circle? Okay.
They would never call the cops and falsify a police report. They would be too scared that they would get arrested for falsifying a crime, which is what should have happened. But, you know, there's always time. Maybe not for criminal charges, but civil litigation, absolutely. What has been done to me was not only illegal.
She's another one that's constantly threatening to sue people, but never does anything.
But there's, you know, court records that I was innocent. That is a criminal, a suable offense. Someone falsifying a police report saying that you did something that you didn't, and you actually being the victim of said crime that they accused you of, it's absolutely a suable offense. You know, it's just crazy that shit like that happens to me all the time. And once again, I do think that it's because I'm poor and that I've been poor for most of my life, you know?
But you said you made 6 figures. That's not being poor, honey.
Even when I was making 6 figures, I didn't get that money.
Here we go.
I got a portion of it.
Well, what'd you do with the 6 figures you were making?
But yeah, not all of it, you know. Well, I think it's gonna quit raining. If that's the case, then I can start walking. Yeah, I really am just at a point where every day is just so crazy. So it says 100% right now, 78% humidity, 86 degrees, which is not bad. It actually feels good out here for once. I was actually sitting behind the building just enjoying it because I was like half-assed in the sunshine. When it's in the 80s, I want to be in the sunshine. But when it's y'all, last week it was 101 heat index. I was about to die. It was like 85%, 95% humidity, 101 heat index. And that day I had to bicycle like 20-something miles. Listen to this. I bicycled to wash my laundry, right? Because it was nasty. Go in there and tried to freshen up a little bit with that little square brown towel that I have that I set on sometimes. I use that to dry off with if I get out of the river. It's just a house towel for like the kitchen. Anyways, I washed up in the bathroom a little bit, washed my clothes, bicycled out of there. And later that afternoon, I had to go to a different laundromat and wash this book bag because the straps were so nasty and sweaty. You could smell me coming from a mile away. That's another thing. All of the clothes that I have reek. I know that I wash them like 2-3 times a week. I don't know if it's being outdoors. I don't know if it's because it's hot and clothes just hold smell. I don't freaking know. But like this brand new t-shirt, it reeks. Even if I wash it, I pull it out of the wash, it stinks. Everything stinks. Doesn't matter how much I wash it. It doesn't matter where I keep it. The humidity levels are so damn high. It doesn't matter. It's just that I wear the same thing so much and it's so hot that all of my belongings reek.
I never see you in the same clothes.
I'm sorry. How am I supposed to find a job when I walk into a job interview and the interview is immediately over because of the smell? Most people would never even give thought to that.
It's what you're using to launder your clothes with, maybe? Because you're definitely showering.
Have you ever stunk and been nervous about how you smell? Now imagine having to bicycle. I don't know. If I was going to look for a job, I better start looking in Greensboro because there's no jobs around here. So I would have to bicycle for 2 or 3 days. Or pay $120 for a damn Uber. Maybe. I would have to bicycle 2 or 3 days away.
Okay, it's only $120 for an Uber to go to Greensboro from where you're at, and it wouldn't take you 2 to 3 days to bicycle. If it's on, because $120 in an Uber, Let me see. Jackson is a little over an hour away. I would say at the most it's 3 hours away. At the max, if that's all the Uber is $120. Just saying.
Have no place to shower. I just dropped money on the ground.
She's in North Carolina now. She was in Jacksonville, Florida for a while, but she had to go back to North Carolina because she had court, and she's been there since.
And then walk into an interview smelling like ass? Because that's going to go well. Did I tell you guys about the guy from North Carolina that got hired? I think it was California. It was a Tesla location. African-American family. Big bear of a papa bear. Okay, this man was like 6 foot tall. He just looked like a big old teddy bear, you know, like you could just tell that he was a good guy. You could feel his energy. He gets this job. I do believe it was Tesla, and he agreed to fly it to California from North Carolina and leave his family right before Christmas. And his wife, I think, was a stay-at-home mom. So this whole job opportunity was a huge risk for the entire family, because him going to California, he didn't have a car. He was going to be living out of a hotel, and he was going to have to bicycle into the Tesla plant. One thing led to another. He went ahead and paid a few weeks in the hotel, and then he got him a bicycle. And his first day of work, he went through all of the hiring process, which, by the way, for those that don't know nowadays, you might get 3, 4, 5 rounds in some interviews. I'm not joking. They will string out job interviews, like job after. You have to go multiple rounds sometimes, and they will string it out for weeks, if not months, at some companies when you're trying to get a job. It's not like you just fill out an application and then they call you on a Zoom call and they do a singular interview. Absolutely not. A lot of these companies are doing multiple rounds of interviews with you multiple times. So he went through the whole hiring process for Tesla. He kisses his wife and children here goodbye weeks before Christmas here in North Carolina, and he takes off on a plane to California. He pays in advance for the hotel, bicycles in for his first day at work, and as soon as he pulls up to the plant, they immediately turn him away at the gate. No explanation. They're just like, oh, we changed our mind. We're not hiring you. And, I said when I read this article, I said it was because he didn't have a car. He didn't have a home, and he was from out of state. These companies, because there's so many people looking for work right now.
Thank you, Trisha. Thank you for transporting. Appreciate that.
Companies have gotten picky, and they don't want to deal with people that don't, quote, have their ducks in a row. It's like, for instance,
she really needs to work on that inner healing. She said she is a victim of abuse. You're a victim once. After that, you're a volunteer to be in the situation. Only my opinion. She's just mad at the whole wide world, and it's all the Bushes incoming. Thank you, Trisha.
If you get hired with certain companies, they ask you, do you have your own phone and reliable transportation? Something like Uber, you're absolutely going to need that, and like, you get what I'm saying. But I thought it was really screwed up the way that Tesla did him. I mean, extremely screwed up. And right before Christmas, too. I mean,
well, I have to absolutely agree with you. If this is true, what you're saying, that's pretty messed up. Elon, shame on you.
To get him all the way out to California and let him pay weeks, because they had him scheduled to like train and then work, and he was going to be gone for weeks or months. And I really admire the fact that he said, where there's a will, there's a way, and he got a bicycle and like bicycled in. But I do think that played against him.
Okay, guys, you ready? I think works about
it's Tesla. They're like, oh, you're in your 20s.
All right.
And I had my little, I guess youthful, or I was average weight, good looking. Clearly, I was an exotic dancer, so clearly my body was my best feature.
Okay, is that when you made the 6 figures when you were stripping? Because when did you get the job making the 6 figures? After? I'm confused.
At the time, but
Dookie dude,
I don't know. It's different now. Like I want to be bigger.
Dude.
Like I'm trying to gain weight.
Oh my God! This cat is sitting here scratching his chin on my laptop lid, and he's pulling it down. He's rubbing it so hard. Will you stop that? You big old spoiled tubba.
Strap on like 40 pounds. I think I can do it. I really do. I know it sounds crazy. You're not. Hold on. Let me show you a picture. You need to see a picture to fully get the full.
Okay, y'all ready to move on, or do you want to keep watching? We'll fast forward to it. I just wanted to show her rant. Oh my God, what the hell did she put on? Oh, this woman.
Yeah, it was nice to know you. I can't allow you to talk to me like that, lady. People are wild. That's what I'm saying. The hell, she talks to everybody like that. So I should have knew what I was signing up for. I should have knew. Y'all, I got the jitters from the caffeine, but my energy was empty. Like the caffeine level was sitting at like 60% in my body.
Okay,
but the energy
now,
level was
okay,
at like
let me
20%.
show you something. Now, you heard her say she's homeless, right? How many homeless people? Let me go to stop sharing. How many homeless people uh, this was the other day. Let me show you this. Okay, now this is her. She's always claiming that there's people stalking and watching her. Okay, I'm going to show you two things. I'm going to show you a video, a short. It's real. It's a real short. She's actually going to try to press charges against somebody she claims is stalking her. Now, she said that gentleman that was at the car wash washing his pickup truck was stalking her and harassing her because of the music he was playing while he was washing his truck. He didn't know her, she didn't know him. That man jumped in his truck so freaking quick and took the fuck off. She just went up there like a raving lunatic because of the music he was playing. And she'll think that because someone's playing music that they're watching her. It's wild. But the other day I reviewed her and she kept saying she took out a warrant on one of her stalkers. Here, oh wait, where did it go? There it is.
There's 4 of them, and they're actually on sale for
And then we're going to do
$2.99.
the grocery one, where she just did this grocery shopping, and she's evidently staying at either an apartment or down here in just like North Carolina or Florida and North Carolina. There's a lot of campers. People live in some. Oh man, I've seen some elaborate campers. Let me tell you, some of them bad boys cost more than homes. I mean, this one couple we know, they paid almost $500,000 for their big drivable camper, but the thing is freaking laid out. I mean, it is laid out.
I done bought
No. That's not what I wanted. Where did it go? Where the hell did the shorts go? Stop sharing. What? Why did it take that short off? That's not what I wanted. That is wild. This thing is doing what it wants to do. She uploads a lot. Ah, this computer. Here it is. And it's the one right after this I want to show you about the grocery shopping, which she just did. Okay. And then she's, like I said, she's either in an apartment or some type of trailer. Just by the seaming, you can see on the corner of the walls. And it looks like she's in like a little closet or something. I don't know, little. But this is her having one of her alleged stalkers a warrant out. This woman is unbelievable.
crimes I didn't commit, and now I'm walking in here to take out a warrant
I'll give her a like.
on one of my stalkers. Let's go.
I've already filed 2 reports on this man. I've done told him to leave me alone.
Let me be clear. Some criminals change, but this asshole is not one of those people. This asshole followed me around for over 2 months trying to incite fear while he drank and drove, while he smoked weed and drove. This person has not changed at all. And he will spend probably his life in prison, judging by his current behavior patterns. Okay. He has assault with a deadly weapon. All of this is stemming from the same incident where he attacked some woman, assault on a female, non-malicious castrate and maim. This is not a game. Okay. This asshole followed me around trying to get a reaction out of me, trying to start drama. And now he has a warrant for his arrest. Have fun in jail, Jason. Have fun.
The last time I was here, I was arrested for crimes I didn't commit, and now I'm walking in here to take out a warrant. Food things. There's 4 of them, and they're actually on sale for $2.99. So that's actually wonderful for meal prep. That'd be $1.50. Wonderful. I also got fruits and vegetables, 2 sweet potatoes, regular potato, 2 lemons, so that I can make salad dressing with the lemon sauce. It's like olive oil, lemon juice, a little bit of honey, salt and pepper. So good. It's wonderful on a salad. 1 avocado, 1 apple, 1 homegrown tomato, 1 green tomato, because I want to try to do a fried green tomato recipe. And I'll show you everything else. Some slice of watermelon, cucumber, and I also want to grab some spinach. Am I the only one that can't ever find nothing in the grocery store? I already got ADHD and dyslexia. So if I ask where something is, she'll be like, oh, it's on aisle 12, and I'll be looking for aisle 21 anyways. Spinach. We want spinach.
Oh, my little ones.
What is wrong with me today?
Allergies are
I
acting up.
swear. I don't want no big one. It does last a while, so I'll just get this bigger one because that's what I need. You can also freeze it. So since I have that spinach, I definitely need some kind of low-calorie dressing. So let's look at what we can find for a reasonable price. I'm actually trying to clean my diet up a little bit. I'm going to get this for $3.50. It's balsamic vinegar. I'm going to grab some jalapeno slices, but they're not the candied ones because I'm making sure that I don't have sugar. So I'm going to get this pound right here that I can break down into 2 packages. So that's great. $6. Also going to get some chicken thighs. I can break this like down into portions. I'm going to grab this chipotle garlic roast seasoning from Grill Mates. And I also had to grab some garlic powder. So I'm getting this. They actually have it on sale. I'm excited. I love cake and I never get to have it. I grabbed a few
Exactly,
pack of
Ann.
my favorite chili noodles. I'll stuff that with vegetables, chicken or beef, and then 0 carb sun-dried tomato basil wraps. I grabbed some.
Just me and only me so. Oh, thank you for the $9.99. Thank you for my first goal. Have to wait 10 minutes from Trisha's. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
These single packs of coffee, espresso. I got this Chobani yogurt and also 2 different kinds of milk and a cottage cheese.
Now, this is a homeless woman
And they're
now.
actually on sale for $2.99. So that's actually wonderful for meal prep. That'd be $1.50. Wonderful. I also got fruits and vegetables, 2 sweet potatoes, regular potato, 2 lemons, so that I can make salad dressing with the lemon sauce. It's like olive oil, lemon juice, a little bit of honey, salt and pepper. So good. It's wonderful on a salad. 1 avocado, 1 apple, 1 homegrown tomato, 1 green tomato, because I want to try to do a fried green tomato
Yeah, sorry, my little was out here. Um, that was her. Now this is her preparing the food. What looks like to be, like I said, an apartment, a house, trailer, just a residence of some type. Um, and this is her eating what she cooked. It looks like she's in some type of closet.
Cheers. Damn, I should have put some water in that. I'm so excited about this. I know I said I was going over the night, but I got about 45 minutes before I got to head back to where I got to go for the evening. So I like to knock it in the floor. Let's see if I can. Hey, one way. Can I put my leg up here? This is a closet. This is a plate of food. This is a hungry girl. And this is a fork.
I have no idea where she's at, how she got in a totally empty closet. Is it an empty unit? I have no idea. Is it somebody she knows? Is it her residence? Who knows? But she's eating the food she prepared. So there's utilities there because there's electric as she cooked. So there's appliances. Has a refrigerator to keep everything cold, and has containers to put her leftovers in to take them with her out for the day when she's outside on the street during the day, filming YouTubes that she's homeless. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Sorry about that.
I know it. Homemade mashed potatoes.
I can't watch people eat.
Right.
But you get the gist of it, okay? So I have my hopefully I'll be able to show the video of the gentleman I keep telling you about that was busted for doing exactly what she's doing. Living in a $700,000 home, driving a Mercedes, but by day he's in dirty, ripped clothes with no shoes on, out on the corners with a sign saying he's homeless and broke. And by night, he's living the good life. He claims he makes almost $8,000 a month. I don't know. He's living well. His house is paid for. His car is paid for. And was scamming the lady that encountered him out in the street being homeless, ended up befriending him, and then ended up falling in love with him and getting into a relationship with him. She's struggling every month to make her rent because she's giving him hundreds of dollars to get by every month. And he has these off-the-wall excuses on why he doesn't have a job, and she just falls for it. Well, eventually she goes to the show, and the show has private investigators and stuff, and they find out what you're hiding, what your secret life is. And she found out that that's what he does. He actually has a backpack, and he carries his bum clothing, as he calls it, his homeless clothing, and he'll go into the gas stations, into the bathrooms, and change, and go out to the street corners. Knowing that she was struggling every day just to get by so she could put money in his pocket. She's living in some rinky-dink little apartment she can barely afford. He's living in this big 5-bedroom, $700,000 laid-out house. She's taking the bus. He's driving a Benz. And she didn't leave him. She stayed with him after finding all this out. I was blown away. And he didn't stop his homeless begging. He just cut it down a couple, 1 or 2 days a week. But he's still out there doing his thing. Yeah. So that's what made me look at her and side-eye her, because their antics are a lot alike. So I have been trimming this video down and keep uploading it and having YouTube check it, and I keep getting now, but I think I finally got it to where it'll pass and I can show just enough to give you context of who he is, because I just won't monetize that stream. Um, which AdSense is AdSense. But I want you to see who I'm talking about, and the videos I found of her to clip and use as similarities with the two are good. You'll see what I'm talking about. And I don't know. I have questions. I have questions. I just, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'll admit I'm wrong. I have no problem with it. But I think that and you know what? I hope she does. And I'm glad if she does have somewhere to stay. But I don't think you should be frauding people. You know, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't, I don't get, I don't know. Did you ever want to try it though? I did. Just because everyone was always talking about how, you know, we'd always hear, you know, and my husband, where he works, there's a lot of homeless that come in there. They're homeless veterans, and sadly, so you hear it all. So, did you ever want to just I go undercover and go out there for a night and see exactly how much you panhandle? I know. Oh, probably about maybe 10 years ago, a reporter and his cameraman did it. Um, Supposedly they kept their identities hidden. I question that, but he collected on just one day over $400. That's a lot of cash. But I don't know, because I've seen different. I've seen some that do a lot, and yeah, I don't know. Hey, Tinfoil Tara. I've watched her coverage a few times. I don't know. I don't. I'm still. My gut's telling me uh, that she does have places she can stay off the street. That's what my gut's telling me. Hey, Chicken Bananas. I love the name Chicken Bananas. My son and they sing, my daughter sing that song. Oh, they drive me nuts. They do the dance all the time too. Okay, guys. We'll get back to Brooke tomorrow. I'm hoping I'll be able to show you that video so I can show you the comparison of the two. I can only take Brooke in small doses. But this is TikTok's newest lowcow, the newest addition to our TikTok lowcow. This is Donut Mom. And this is from
Alexandria Sobel, better known as Donut Mom, would gain that title in 2023 when she would go viral for feeding her 1-year-old nothing but a couple of donuts and some applesauce for breakfast. This post would spark fierce criticism from the wider internet, especially after discovering more of her content. The more you watch, the more you begin to realize just how bad things are. There are heaps of clothes and junk around the house, bits of rotten food and slop scattered around the kitchen, and of course, the various insects that come with that. People were also critical of Alex's attitude. They felt that she couldn't care less about her children's meals, and it's pretty easy to see how they thought that, because in the majority of her videos, she is a self-described lazy mom, cooking for the undeserving.
And it is so muggy tonight. I am so over these temperatures. I am so ready to move on. Hey, KB. What the hell is that? What did she put in the middle of that? What the hell is that? Oh, meatloaf. Right. Did you wash your hands? Look at that stove. Get that dishcloth over there and wipe that stove off. No, that's gross. You can't be doing that. Oh, hell no. I couldn't handle it. Nope. Couldn't do it. Nope. My OCD. Oh, hell no. But did you wash your hands before you touched that food? And have you washed your hands since? Or did you just dry them off or wipe them off on that towel that I hope to God you're not going to use for anything else? But honey, you got to wipe that shit off that stove. Seriously. It does.
People were also extremely critical
What
of the
the
amount
hell
that she
was that? She was gonna mash him with the skin on him? What?
was
And
feeding her children, along with some of the stuff they were being fed. Alex has posted many videos returning home with stacks on stacks of pizzas or bags full of Mexican food.
Kids don't get pizza very often, so figured I'd do a fun treat and give them some pizza. Give them a break from all the home cooking. I also always have to make sure they have fresh fruit a couple times a day. It's just important to me.
fresh fruit. That's not fresh fruit. That's in nothing but sugar syrup. But okay.
So I give them some farm fresh oranges. That's their food, 7-year-old, 5-year-old. Okay.
That it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I've seen a few moms that don't even care to bother to get them anything to eat, that are too busy. So at least she's feeding them and getting ready to make them root beer floats, it looks like.
I'm working on it, baby. I know y'all are going to come for me, but they're having water too. I just thought they've never really had one of these, and this would be a fun treat. So they got a Dr. Pepper float.
Oh.
But they will also have a cup of water with ice. So there's their dinner. Have a good night. That was their first time having a float of any sort, and they like them. But that's definitely not an all-the-time thing because they're not super into sweets. So have a good night.
Alex likes to claim that these are isolated events, that them getting pizza or fast food isn't a regular thing. But there are an unbelievable amount of videos where she does this, and clearly states in her text that this is for her 3 kids.
Kids don't get pizza very often. Look at this perfect pizza. Perfectly crispy and gooey. Kids don't get pizza very often. We got pizza.
And one pepperoni.
Why do you have 4?
8-year-old's plate. 6-year-old's plate.
Mom, you give me a pepperoni?
And I'm giving her a piece of pepperoni with it because she's complaining to me. And that's what we got for dinner. Love you guys.
Kids don't get pizza
Wait
very
a
often.
minute.
That makes it.
You need 4 pizzas for you and 2 children? Holy cow.
Get food. My son got steak tacos.
You have hands? I never have.
So 8-year-old's plate because I'm not wasting a plate. Why would I do that? I also got him a side of rice. And he put salsa on his taco, so I'm going to give him the salsa that came with the chips. We got chips, a side of rice and beans for me, a side of rice and beans for someone. Second bag secured. Probably goes with my boyfriend's because I don't eat that. This is my boyfriend's. This is mine. Cheese dip. That might actually be that's. I think this is my 5-year-old's taco. I think this is my 6-year-old's taco. I'm all over the place today.
And then there is the absolutely vile state of the kitchen stove. Alex seems to have a big problem with cleaning, especially when it comes to the dishes or the stove. She'll clean every once in a while, but it's usually after a lot of criticism. Also after the kitchen had just gotten completely filthy, maybe even worse than Nova's.
Oh. Well, ow! Yeah. Okay, what is she doing? Dropping cut up pieces of chicken in hot grease and then putting seasoning What? I have one. I just still haven't used it. I'm still terrified that if I open up that door, there'll be another palmetto. So I have not used it since then. And I stand there like a dumbass and do them dishes when I got a brand new dishwasher sitting there that I used a whole probably less 3 or 4 times. I got times on one hand. I'm terrified of them things. Yeah. It's been a couple years too. And my husband messes with me about it constantly. And he'll go out there and open it and he'll like, see nothing. I'm like, nope, don't believe you. Yep. Mm-mm. Because as soon as I open up that door, one of them bitches will be sitting right there looking at me. Nope. I don't even know how it got in there. It must have came up the drain is the only thing I can figure. But nope. Mm-mm. I am yep, you got that right. Hey, Aggie, good to see you. Candy, lollipop. Uh-huh. What happened to my boy?
Not right now, baby.
Okay, no, you don't put them in the breading after you burn them. What is she doing? You're terrified of garbage disposal. I hate them things. I know I have one. I use it all the time though. I'm constantly running bleach or something down mine because I can't. I'm. They stink. I hate garbage disposals. I always think they stink. I don't know if it's. I'm not sure, Darby. I have to be sure no one is home if I stuck my hand in there. Oh yeah. What the hell is she doing?
Honestly, this isn't even the worst of it. In a
What
recent
the hell was that stuff she dumped them overcooked wings in?
photo that Alex posted, there were so many dishes in the picture that people have begun to speculate that instead of washing dishes, she's been buying new ones and calling them clean. It's just a theory, but there are an abnormal amount of dishes in that home. And sometimes they look like they're covered in maggots. A hot topic of discussion amongst Donut Mom detractors is the maggot fork, a photo of a fork which many have assumed to be covered in maggots. Once again, something that can't be confirmed, but the state
that looked like the rice they were eating the other night.
Of that kitchen is absolutely horrible.
It is. What is...
They're by the front.
Why does she make so much food for 4 people? She has 2 small little kids, her and her sometimes boyfriend. Why does she make so much damn food? I mean, that's 2 pounds of ground beef. Yeah, yeah, And if I'm gonna be an honest, and probably the only one that does this, and that's only because I probably still have the gloves. But I have these gloves, and they're not the regular latex gloves. They're like for kitchen, like for mixing meat and stuff. They're just disposable, thin, clear ones. But they don't have any kind of like powder or lotion or anything in them. Yeah, if I'm gonna mix meatloaf and shit like that, I put them on. Yeah, I don't know. But that's just me. But I always wash. I'm not touching no food. I'm gonna wash my hands before and after. Thank you. You never cross contaminate either. What? She just dumped. What did she just do? She just dumped that hamburger in there, grease and all? No. No. Ooh. No. Oh, yeah, grease and all. Yikes.
That gas stove of
that
hers
was
also really
Joy?
concerns me. It seems like she always cranks it up to the highest setting possible, and sometimes there's a lot of food that's fallen down by the burner. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, but whenever I watch her cook around that flame, it makes me nervous. Now, I've talked so far about a lot of Donut Mom's bad habits, but one thing I haven't talked
And with nails like that, all that meat be getting caught up inside them nails and stuff. Oof. And what if one came off in the meatloaf mix? Huh? You just leave it in there for extra flavor, wouldn't you?
much about is her past, and I gotta say, it is nothing short of
And look, there's a nail missing. There's a nail missing off her index finger. Check the freaking meatloaf. Check the freaking meatloaf. I have no idea, Darby. I have no idea. I don't know what they look like. They're little.
extremely interesting and was something that I really didn't expect when researching this video. You may have noticed in the clips that I've shown you so far, Donut Mom has used quite a few different kitchens, and that's because in the last couple of years, Donut Mom has lived in quite a few situations. You wouldn't be able to tell by her TikToks, but things behind the scenes are extremely complicated, and it all stems from her numerous romantic relationships. Alex has 2 kids with Taylor, who is her first baby daddy and someone that we will discuss more later. It seems that a couple years after having their second child, the couple would break things off, and Alex would find herself in a relationship with another man named James, very quickly becoming baby daddy number 2, the father of Alex's youngest child. And this is where things kind of take an unexpected turn. Soon after the birth of their first child together, they would open their relationship, becoming a throuple when a woman named Dana would move in. You can even see Dana in some of her old TikToks, helping her plate food for the kids.
Mommy.
A throuple. She is now in a throuple. You have chickens in the compost? Oh, cool. So, friends of ours back home, they had a mini, well, they had some pigs and some chickens, not major, and just they had all this land. They didn't have like a rural farm or nothing. But I used to save all my stuff for her pigs. Yeah.
Put that back. Put that back. Both plates. Please keep your hands out of the apples.
I want a whole one.
You're getting slices.
Let you know I want the big one.
I know, but
Yeah, I give it to her though. At least she makes sure her kids eat. Come on now. We've seen on here where some people they can't be bothered to log off to take care of, I mean, I don't know. Just my opinion. I think we got plug that don't work. Oh, that's what it was. Anyway.
hey, we're out of milk. They're having milk.
Yeah.
I'll let my girlfriend show you.
Invited a woman in. Another woman. Hey, Jen. Yeah. Told you TikTok got all the Lowcows. We reviewed her in one of the videos I played that had several different TikTok creators, and it had a little bit of her. But this is her throuple. Plate dinner for my family of 6 with me. Okay, you don't have a family of 6. Well, you have 3 kids now. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there is because you have a throuple. Okay.
Here you go, bub.
I want
Here
these.
you go, bub. What do you say? My girlfriend cut my chicken up for me because she loves me.
For a while, this was Alex's life until her and James broke up. Fun fact, James and Dana, the other woman, are still together, and from what I've heard, they've recently become engaged. Alex would spend a brief time living with her ex in the home until eventually moving back in with her first baby daddy, Taylor, eventually rekindling their relationship. Now let's talk about Taylor a little more. Personally, I have not been getting very good vibes, even before I heard about some of the grosser stuff that he was getting up to. Taylor has been seen on Alex's lives carrying a firearm around the house for no discernible reason. Alex has also said in the past that the children are afraid of him and that there might be a degree of violence involved. Alex has also accused Taylor of an absolutely disgusting
On them potatoes, oil.
act. When she, James, and Dana were still all together, Taylor would occasionally come over to visit. And during one of these visits, Alex would exit her room to find Taylor standing in front of it, completely nude, shaking hands with the milkman. Here is a clip of Alex herself talking about the event.
Okay, so no, that's not true 100%. Taylor did in front of our exit door, but there was no way the kids could have seen it because they were all asleep. This was at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. Was it 1 o'clock in the morning? And so, no, the kids could not have seen it. No, Taylor did not want to join in the relationship. he wasn't interested in Dana. That does sound familiar because they both told me that Taylor was interested in Dana, but Taylor didn't even like Dana and told me not to do the throuple and that I would regret it.
Something to keep in mind here is the timeline, because she willingly took Taylor back after this. Yeah, I gotta say, when I started researching a lady called the Donut Mom, I didn't expect things to get that crazy. To make that particular situation even worse, the kids were inside of the room when Taylor was doing that disgusting shit. It's divine intervention that Alex was the one that found him, and not one of his kids or soon-to-be stepchild. Overall, it's just a terrible environment. Despite rekindling the relationship, Alex seems to truly hate Taylor. When she moved back in with him, there was a notable increase in slop cooking, and I think part of the reason was because she knew Taylor also had to eat it.
So she's got 3 kids and she bounces from place to place. That's sad. That's sad for them kids. No stable environment. Mom that's in and out of relationships and keeps going back to baby daddy number 1 because she has nowhere to go, but she really hates the man. So it's the household that suffers. You're so confused right now. What about Ann? The throuple didn't work. The dude she was in a throuple with, her second baby daddy, he dumped her. He kicked her out. She and the female in this throuple stayed with the ex, with her ex. They stayed a couple. They just kicked her out of the couple. They were no longer a throuple. They were just a couple, and now they're engaged. But I don't think they do throupleisms anymore. I don't think there was much of a throuple, if you get my drift, because, yeah, anyway. When I reviewed her before, they actually showed the throuple. But, yeah. Anyway, so she had nowhere to go, so she had to move back with baby daddy number 1, whom she clearly does not like. But anyway, it's sad because the kids are the ones caught in the middle of all this crap. These adults.
Yummy. I don't know if I recorded, but I had a corn.
But sometimes it also seems like she genuinely dislikes her kids. When they talk to her during videos or live streams, she could not be less interested, usually acting annoyed. Posts like this are proof. There she is, cooking her horrific meal, saying that her kid doesn't deserve it. To be honest, they probably don't, but not in the way that she means. No person should have to eat food like this. I mean, I'm no nutritionist, but it seems like a lot of food to be giving a kid. They're all varying ages, and all seem to get the same amount of grub, which still feels like too much, even for the 7-year-old. There have also been rumors floating around of one of Alex's children being taken to the hospital, potentially being diabetic, which it seems like Alex might be. I'm not even joking when I say I've seen her be in the middle of cooking a meal, give herself an injection, then go right back to cooking. I keep saying it, but I believe it. It's a truly awful environment, not just for Alex's children, but for her pets. Alex also has a bunch of pets, 1 dog and a couple of rabbits. She will just let the rabbits free roam and poop everywhere. I've seen many a video where rabbit poop is just inches away, and it seems like she keeps the same principles of free roaming with her dog, and that has had even worse consequences. One of her more infamous TikToks took place when she was outside with her dog. The dog had no leash on, would run into the road and be hit by a car, thankfully surviving. But Alex has openly stated that she never used a leash before. She didn't see the need. The dog is really small, so it's honestly a miracle that it lived. Her bunnies free roam, her dog free roams, and apparently sometimes the kids do too.
I literally, like I said, I will only go 5 minutes up the street and leave my 7-year-old for like 5 minutes if I'm going just to the gas station for milk or something. But I still bring my 2-year-old and I still bring my 5-year-old because he's not quite yet old enough to watch his younger sisters, even though he always asks. He's like, no, watch that.
Maybe it's just me, but if he's not responsible enough to watch anyone else, maybe he's not responsible enough to watch himself. It just circles back to Donut Mom being a carefree, especially when it comes to the kids. The way that she treats them is very unusual for someone trying to build a brand off of family content. And this is most of what she puts out, cooking videos,
No,
along
I'm
with
not
promoting
muted.
things from her TikTok
It's
shop.
Ruby.
Recently,
You guys, you can't. Can you hear me? I'm not muted. Oh man, don't even tell me my mic is going. Can you all hear me now? I'm sorry, but today I knew I was going to be 9 minutes, or I knew I was going to be about 10 minutes or so late for the bus, and for never probably will happen again. The bus was actually 9 minutes early today. I have a 7 and 10-year-old. I knew I would be home within minutes. They still weren't going to. Nope. They went to my neighbors. Nope. No, no, no. And I made it home at 4:33. It would have only been, had the bus been on time, it would have only been 3 minutes, but because it was 9 minutes early. But that's okay because I had made arrangements. A 7-year-old cannot be left by himself. What the hell? This is crazy.
one has caught the eye of many people watching her, an exercise device unlike anything I've ever seen.
And it's there, I would imagine you could get in trouble legally leaving a 7-year-old alone. What is that? If you want some exercise, and this is, hey, I'm just giving you some friendly advice, take it or leave it. Do you know if you would actually clean up that house, that would give you a complete body workout? You'd use muscles you don't normally use. You'd have a heck of a workout. That could be your workout every day. Girlfriend, doesn't look like you've cleaned up in quite a while, and I think maybe you need to shut the ticker talker off and take care of business. Because I don't know where you get clean dishes. Unless they're paper plates. Plastic plates that you throw away. Because at Dollar Tree, you can buy them in colors. I don't know. Because you don't wash your dishes. That's clear. But anyway, I'm telling you, that's a workout. Clean your house. I mean, deep clean your house. You'll get a hell of a workout. She didn't have the flame on. I saw a handle on the cooking bowl. It's like a deep wok, like cook pan. Mm. Yeah, I don't know. I think my mic is. I've been having problems with it for a couple of weeks. I'm gonna have my friend look at it tomorrow, and I might just replace it. I have a really nice standalone that I use when I'm in the house, but I don't want it. It's separate headset. And it's a standalone, and it's just I'd have to unhook everything and bring it in and out to be full side. And I'm afraid I'm gonna drop it or mess it up because it's a really nice mic. A sub gifted me that a long time ago, about a year ago, the mic and the headset, and I love them. But like I said, it's two more. I have to. They're separate, so I'd have more. I have to carry outside, but I use them when I'm in the house.
Between this and the horrendous meals, it's no wonder that she went viral on TikTok. Surprisingly enough, Eastern European viewers especially get this. I don't know exactly what languages these are being spoken in the comments, but I assume that this says nothing good. And it's not just them, it's most people. Alex does have a very dedicated fan base, mostly consisting of people who feed their children similar stuff, but even they are few and far between. To me, it seems like Alex is extremely unhappy. She rarely smiles and cooks with
Yeah.
contempt instead of love. This attitude I could understand towards her spouse, Taylor, who has done some pretty awful things, but I don't understand it towards her children. They've done absolutely nothing to deserve this. And from what I've been able to gather, the state has become involved before and found nothing wrong with the home. But that sadly says a lot, that conditions like this are quite common. As depressing as it is, there are thousands of donut moms out there. But what sets Alex apart is that she has decided to broadcast it all to the internet. For how much longer?
Yeah, but maybe some real parenting classes, and I'm not talking about the stupid online classes they have you take. Physical, after 10 parenting classes might help. But you're not very nice to them when they try to talk to you, and you pretty much ignore them. I mean, there's more to being a parent than just throwing some slop on a plate for them to eat.
No, occasionally she will go private, but quickly return. She also claims that this is her only form of income, so she doesn't really have an incentive to stop. For now, she seems content making her cooking videos, shilling random products, and looking absolutely miserable doing it.
Yeah, she doesn't look very happy. She actually looks angry and kind of depressed and sad. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know. Mm. But nope, she got to clean that house up. Telling her she wants a workout, that'll give her a workout. She'll use muscles she don't ever use. Oh my god. This is slimy. And I don't even honestly, I'm gonna do something I don't do. But Slimy's playing videos, and her title is, in my opinion, you might understand, but you know, so where is Sebastian? And she's referring to Chris and Katie. And she's playing TikTokers. And then I got a 2-minute video I want to play you. I want to get to show that there's some stories, but they just seem always so horrific. But I'm going to start talking about them because unfortunately it's what's going on. You know, sucks, but it is what it is.
Talking about the case of Sebastian Rogers. So this case takes place in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and we know that Sebastian has now been missing for 9 days. We now know that Sebastian's mother's name is Katie Proudfoot and the stepfather's name is Christopher Proudfoot. Now his bio dad is named Seth Rogers, but Seth actually lives in another city. Katie and Chris actually have sat down multiple times and did interviews over the last few days. Now, at first, we know that they refused to talk. They didn't want to say anything to the media, but they chose to talk to a friend that had a YouTube channel, and that's who they did the interview with first. Now, I listened to that interview, and when I listened to it, it really seemed like
you're wrong. They didn't know each other prior. Okay. Just, yeah.
Chris took over the entire interview, and Katie barely talked. When you look in the comments of the interview, you have a lot of people who pointed this out. So when they did a real interview with the reporter, Chris actually kind of took the back seat and kind of let Katie talk a little bit more. So we know that they are watching social media, and they are taking notes, and they are watching everything that people are saying. Now, in these interviews, you can go watch them. All you have to do is type in Sebastian Rogers. It'll come up. Katie is basically saying that there was no indication that Sebastian wanted to leave. The night before, she took them in. He told her good night, and there was nothing else out of the ordinary. She's saying that they had a pretty good week, and she cannot understand why Sebastian left. Now, Chris had to point out the fact that he was a very strict parent. He didn't allow Sebastian to have social media, and they basically watched everything he did. He only played Minecraft, and he only played Minecraft on the Switch. He didn't have access to online. Now, y'all, let me say this. I honestly feel like something else happened. I can't say what happened. I can't say what went on. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But for me, every time I watch Chris and Katie together, it almost seems like Katie is afraid to speak. And it's like when she says something that doesn't coincide with what Chris already said, he will come back and say what he said again in order to reiterate what Katie meant. Now, that's not to say that they did anything to Sebastian, y'all, but when you're dealing with a case like this, and the cases that we've been covering lately have been stepdad did something to kid, you have to look at everything. Now, my heart still goes out to these parents. My heart goes out to Bio Dad, because right now we're just trying to bring Sebastian home. Now, something else I want to point out is Bio Dad actually did a phone interview, and in his phone interview, they asked him, had he been working with Chris and Katie, trying to find Sebastian? He was like, no, I talk to them maybe once a day. I'm looking for Sebastian on my own. He was like, he really doesn't have anything to do with Chris and Katie. The reason why that's odd to me is in Chris's interview, he made it a point to say that he was working with Bio Dad. They all were getting along. They all were doing everything they could do together to bring Sebastian home. Now, there has to be some type of rift in this relationship. We know that Katie said that Sebastian went to his Bio Dad's house a lot, but if Sebastian is missing and Bio Dad is in Hendersonville actively every day searching, why aren't you guys together as a family searching?
He wasn't actively every day searching. He was lying to us, misleading everybody into thinking or believing he was out there searching. In fact, it was 4 times.
Now, y'all, I was able to actually find a video tour of the home that they
I don't
actually lived
know.
in
Smiley's playing this from TikTok.
before they bought it. Now, on this tour, it shows that this house has an open floor plan, meaning you can basically see every room from that living room, including the front door. Now, if you look, you can literally see every single room from that room.
No,
this is the living room, and you can still see the dining area, and you can see their front door. Because my thing is this, everybody is different. Everybody runs their household different. But if you have an autistic child, your husband is away, he's in Memphis, he's working, you don't go to sleep until 12. So when did he actually go missing? You didn't get up in the middle of the night at all. You didn't check for anything at all from 12 all the way to 6. You didn't hear anything out of the ordinary of somebody going out the front door. Now, y'all, we know that.
Why would you? You're in bed sleeping.
Investigators are scaling back the ground search, and they're looking more into the investigative part of this case. Now, that's not to say that they don't believe that this kid could have walked out the door on his own, but they're saying they believe that they need to investigate more into the details of what actually took place. Stepdad also made it a point to say he doesn't like to get dirty, but he left out the house barefoot. Not only that, he would never go to a creek, a river, or a lake because he doesn't like dirtiness, but he will go to a pool. So if he left out in the middle of the night in the darkness barefoot, where could he have went? Now, I got to point out another thing that I saw online was somebody commented under a thread. Now, I don't know who this was. This could have been a fake page. Remember, this is an investigation. People can make fake pages to throw you off just to make you think something that's not really true. But this person said that she had a son that went to school with him previously, and he will always talk about going into the woods and hiding.
I do too.
Now, the reason why that really kind of stood out to me was because a lot of people thought at first that he...
That's why I fast forwarded through it.
Went into the woods, and maybe that's where he was. But investigators say they have searched over 2,000 miles. They even haven't found an article of clothing. You got to remember, this is 9 days. This is a 15-year-old. Now, you guys, as of right now, that is all the information we have in this case. Now, I know there's a lot of speculation. I don't want you guys to get into it in the comments, but please comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this case. And y'all, let's bring Sebastian home.
Okay, so that ended up, why would she post that? You know how long ago that video was made? And she's just now
we got the subcategory of
Brooke.
parents that are overweight, middle-aged. How many of those have I had problems with? How many of those have intentionally caused me harm over the past 2 years? Julie at the clerk's office, the women from Planet Fitness, the women from the bank. I mean, it's been nonstop. Then there's a whole other...
All these people bothering Brooke. We bounce back to Brooke. I'm sorry. It's always everybody else but Brooke.
subcategory of young perverts, teenagers that I guess they see that I have social media and they just want to, like, I don't know, man, kids, like, I guess it's cool to them and they want to, like, be in my videos, so they come out in public trying to harass me or bother me or be in my lives or whatever. And in that same group of people, there's all of these young guys that try to interject themselves into my life. Perverts. Then we have a whole nother category of stalkers.
Okay, if all this stalking and stuff is going on, how come there's no, you're live, and I'll show you, she's live a lot. But none of this is ever caught. None of it's ever caught on her lives. And look, she is live a lot in a day. I'm surprised it's been 7 hours. 7 hours ago, she was on for 2.5 hours. 10 hours ago, 2.5 hours. 13 hours ago, 2.5 hours. I mean, she goes live sometimes 4 or 5 times a day and stays on there. You figure that's 2, 4, 6, 8. That's about 9, 10 hours right there of the day that she's live. She doesn't, as far as I know so far, but she's new to me. But what I have seen and reviewed, she has not went live at night once it gets dark. I'm thinking either it could be one of two things. It could be because she does that wherever she's sleeping, apparently she stashes her stuff and stays away from everybody else. She's a loner, so she ain't sleeping where there's other homeless. Or she does it because she doesn't want people to know that she really has somewhere to crash at night. Yeah, it's YouTube. Yeah, she's had a channel for a while. Brooke has been on here for, let me see. We'll look and see. She has a lot of videos. A lot. Let me see. I mean, she goes live a lot. But that's what she says is her job. That's how she makes her money. And it's not like, she has to, what else, good for her. She's single and she takes it serious as her job. I mean, it'd be easier to find out. But see, it won't tell me when she uploaded. Let me see what it says. Because that could be a while till it uploads. Let me see. Because just because she had a channel doesn't mean she was, just because she was on here, joined April 15th, 2018. But see, my joining date wasn't me. My goddaughters, they would get an hour to watch their, kid YouTube. And they would have to do it through mine. So I tracked everything. But I didn't actually start watching anything on YouTube till actually, I think it was because of them, I think is what started it, me always checking their stuff, which, yeah. So it was like a year or two before I actually started paying attention to YouTube that my channel says it's been around, or my tag, but yeah, a lot longer than I've actually, because I've only had a channel, about 2.5 years? I don't know, somewhere around there. I don't know. But she's got a lot of videos. So she does put in the work. I mean, she does, and people watch her. I mean, look at the views she gets. And I really don't think that Brooke is buying views. I know someone had said that the other day when I was going over some of her stuff. And it just doesn't strike me that yeah, I know. But she's got 20K views on this video. She has almost 84K subs. And she does, I'll give her a like. I'm reviewing her. I don't do that for everybody. I don't ever give Brittany one. But I don't give BJ one. But I will her.
Old men. Yeah, the old perverts that are used to buying sex. Okay, I'm not a hooker. I'm not a prostitute. I'm actually a survivor of sexual assault and trafficking. So when you come over here, you're going to be respectful or you'll be missing. It's crazy to me, the amount of perverts in this town that roll up on me on a daily basis. Sometimes there's 5 or 6 in a damn day that I get on camera, that I will be minding my
business. She claims she's in a small town of like 2,000 people. So all this is going on. She's live 8 to 10 hours a day, but none of it ever happens while she's live on her phone. One of her phones, like I said, she has 4 phones that all have service contracts. 2 are iPhones. One is a fairly new iPhone.
business bicycling down the street. I'll stop for some water and I'll look behind me and it's some guy that's got his car door open, hanging out, trying to talk to me. You know? Some loser done crept up behind me. What about the kid that followed me from parking lot to parking lot? Y'all remember that? That was crazy. That kid couldn't have been no more than like 22 years old. And I was running through a parking lot. We were jogging. We were working out. And this kid shows up trying to have an interaction with me, being a creep, staring at me. Then he moves several places in the parking lot so he can like see at a better angle. Then when I pulled out my camera to start recording him, or I confronted him on live, then he drives off and goes to another building to set and creep on me. He went to 3 different parking lots. 3 different parking lots following me.
Now, my guess is either he was lost and didn't know where he was going, or he was a delivery guy. But she, according to her, is in a very small town. So, is she the only female in that town? I don't know. If she has more assets than just a place to stay, race a piggery. Yeah, that's where I'm leaning. But, like I said, I could be leaning in the wrong direction. I don't know.
Y'all don't understand how much fucking self-control I actually have.
Oh.
I thought that my criminal record would show that, but apparently people are really genuinely stupid out here. Not to mention I'm being the victim of a crime.
Yeah, she does. She wears some really cute tops. And she always has clean, laundered clothes. That's why she was complaining about them smelling and looking bad. They didn't look bad. She always has different clothes on, too. But she claims she has her stuff stashed in the woods somewhere. I don't know. Like I said, with this one, I mean, you don't meal prep and you don't have containers for your food, and it just all doesn't make sense. It just doesn't, not with everything I've experienced working hand in hand practically, and my husband does all every day with homelessness. It's just not, they don't, they don't have the money to go spend $30 for some to-go food at a restaurant, multiple times a week or even every day. They go to the soup kitchens or wherever they're serving a meal. She goes around no one that's homeless. She doesn't go to any of the shelters or places to eat or anything for the homeless. It's just weird. And I have not found anything of her streaming at night. Yeah, I don't believe she's living in the woods either. I think that maybe she don't have like a permanent place to stay. But I think, and this is just my opinion, that she has somewhere to stay off the streets at night. Now, I know she goes to the laundromat, but she doesn't wear the same clothes. So, not even after laundering them. I don't know. And she allegedly has a big storage unit, and I don't know. She has 2 laptops. It's a whole weird thing. And supposedly she was living in her truck until her truck got repossessed. Which sucks, if that happened. But yeah.
Every day I'm the victim of a crime. Every day I get sexually harassed. Every day I get cyber stalked. Every day I get stalked. People have lost their fucking minds. They want somebody to hate so much because they hate themselves. The only logical explanation. Only logical explanation. Either that or the world is just so evil that I'm the bad guy for leaning into Christ, for telling people to get sober, for telling people not to be promiscuous, for telling people to work through their mental health struggles, to tell people to communicate and love each other. Are we really in a place we really in a place on this earth where it's so easy?
Has quite a history. Lots of trouble with law enforcement violence, with weapons, and was found guilty of child abuse. And she claims they stole her child, but that wasn't the case. Yeah, I don't know.
people, that now the bad people are the good people and the good people are the bad people? Because that's what it looks like to me. And, you know, ironically, the Bible talks about that. In Revelations, he says that that's what will happen. He says that evil people will be, like, you know, worshipped in the streets, and all of the good people will be persecuted and prosecuted for being good people. I'm living that. I've been living that. Like my whole life.
It's everybody's fault but hers. She has never done anything. It's all been done to her. They stole her daughter. They stole her child. Her child was removed because of abuse. There's court records that verifies the broken arm, and yeah, it's a lot.
I'm exhausted. I've been under spiritual warfare my entire life. And it's taken my own followers to bring this to my attention.
I do hope that she is really staying somewhere at night. I don't want to see any woman out in the streets alone at night. You know, come on, you know it's not safe. Oh, she also spends $100 a box to get nicotine patches from the CVS or Walgreens or whatever. And she has 2 vapes. Yeah, she buys her vapes. Yes, she did. You notice that, CB? Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yes, she does. Her water is for yes, and she'll drink the price of your bottled waters now. She has Moo script.
What this is. What this is.
I'll tell you what. I've dealt, and it's seen. And not everybody who's homeless is dirty. Don't get me wrong. They try their best, you know. Like I said, I've never seen anybody be able to eat the way she does, and the expensive meals she eats and stuff. And they don't have 4 phones that they're paying for every month. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I do think that there is some mental health issues for sure. Definitely a lot of violence.
People are really disturbed. Absolutely, Frankie. Absolutely. And then, you know, at the same time, I'm getting stalked. And at the same time, I'm having to file police reports. And I'm going without food and proper rest, as you can see. And the way that society treats homeless people when they're out here literally trying to survive, it's like an episode of fucking Survivor. The way that society treats those people is absolutely disgusting. It's one of the most heartless things that I've ever had to witness next to.
That I agree with you. I agree with you there. I've seen a lot of shit. And yeah, just because somebody, but I see it from both sides. You know, you try, you do the best you can do. And you know what you get repaid back with? They destroy your property. We were working on the 2-unit house. We had the 4-unit building going. We were working on the 2-unit house because there was people moving in, and this dude needed somewhere to crash. There was an outside laundry room, so we said, sure, keep you off the street at night. You could sleep in there. You keep your stuff in there. Nobody would bother it. Even gave him some money for helping around, with doing cleanup and stuff. So you know how we got repaid? Him and his buddies broke in through to the house, into the cellar, and cut all the copper pipe out of the house, so they could go take it to the scrapyard. Yeah, we would have them break the door at the building and go in and try to sleep in the hallway. Yeah. And then it's gross, but they would shit and piss everywhere and throw garbage everywhere. It would just. I've seen what they did. There's 2 sides of it. Unfortunately, there's an ugliness that comes with it. It's sad because I hate to see anybody in the street. I do.
Childhood sexual abuse. The way that society treats homeless people
is the worst for me as a family. To see kids living in a little tent or, at the shelters at night, but on the streets all day. Because the shelters, you have to be out at a certain time in the morning, and they own until they open up at night. It's crazy.
Just as bad is children being abused. That's the level that it's on. It's disgusting. People are disgusting.
I agree.
Most people don't go a day without a meal. They don't go. They don't lose sleep. Most people have never been under these conditions, and I find it extremely rude that people.
Well, we've seen the way you eat, and I don't think you're going without too many meals there. You do pretty good.
That have never had to experience these.
I have no temporary. She claims her only income is what she gets from YouTube. That's what she says. She said she doesn't get EBT, but then you've seen all that food she was buying at the meal prep shopping trip. I don't know. That's what she's claiming.
Conditions can judge people so harshly that have to live in these conditions.
She said that they won't let her apply for food stamps in that county where she's residing because the last time she was on food stamps was in a different county. So they told her she would have to go back to that county and apply. And no, you don't if you're not living there, because that was her last known address. Well, then give them a new address. Believe me, there's plenty of ways that the homeless, so they can get their food stamps. I've seen it happen down here. We volunteer at the one place, and yeah, they're able to they have an EBT card and they're able to get their food stamps every month. So there is ways.
Until you have been out here sleeping on concrete, struggling through the rain and the elements, literally with no family, you have no skin in the game on this channel. Don't come over here trying to victim blame. You'll be missing. Seriously, it's crazy.
I hear you, Tim.
I know when I grew up, you would get, society would bully you for trying to bully homeless people. I don't know where this violence towards homeless people came from. There was a woman that was set on fire, I think on the New York City subway. She died. There was another man that was sexually assaulted by another man. Like, I really think that the internet is to blame for all of this degeneracy and violence. I really do, because these things have gotten so much worse. And compassion and empathy.
No, it's not that it's gotten. The stuff's always been happening. It's just you didn't know about it because there was no way to get all the information that you get now. Now it seems like more of an issue because now you can actually read about it and stuff like that. Before you couldn't. So you'd have no idea. Do I think the world's gone crazy? Absolutely.
And kindness are dying. So it's unfortunate.
But 20 years ago, there wasn't the internet like there is now. So you didn't know half the stuff that you know now that you can hop on the internet and find out,
Yeah, no. And that's another thing. And then, people get mad when I come up with resources and I'm able to go find a shower or I'm able to freeze some water. It's like they're always.
Why would somebody get mad about that? Good for you.
Concerned about things that are in my benefit. And it really goes to show how many people are literally following me to try to see me fail because they hate themselves. I've never done anything to any of these people. If you take offense to the word fat, that means that you have mental health problems. You're not living in reality. You're floating down denial. I'm still not the problem. That would make you the problem.
Oh.
If facts hurt your feelings, that's a you problem, not a me problem.
Oh.
I have the right to speech.
Well, she just is so clever. Look, and she's feeling herself. Like, ooh, that was the cleverest thing I said all day.
Hey, there's a bee. Come be with me, Mr. B. Mr. B. Hello. Come back. Come back. I got a bee, but he won't sit still. He's bouncing his little butt. I should have been a beekeeper. I really should have. Yeah, Marge, the sad thing is that unfortunately the court system doesn't know about our Lord Savior Jesus Christ, okay? They don't. The court system is what scares me the most. It's like all of these people out here acting crazy. We saw what happened with Planet Fitness. Those people were able to just pick up the phone and make up a lie, and I went to jail for something I didn't do. And this is why I film everything now. And it's really crazy to me how, despite the fact I've filmed all of these interactions where I was discriminated against for being homeless, it's crazy that these idiots would go and lie in a post when I have it all recorded. Do you know how mentally unstable you have to be? You know I dropped in that comment section, right?
Well, if you have it all recorded, then show the receipts.
Sure did. I'll tell you this. I think it's on that phone too. But yeah, I sure did. The audacity.
Oh, yeah.
The audacity to be that damn disturbed. I've lost everything in an attempt to help people. And now I can't even help myself. And I still got people out here just trying to just get me locked up, take food off my table, like prevent me from being able to make a future for me and my children. It's crazy. The double standard, once again, is crazy.
She won't get ever, but she doesn't. There is no custody there. Okay. Yeah, that's long gone. And she claims that her the internet cost her her job, and then cost her yet another job just like a month ago. And it's their fault that her truck got repossessed and all that.
Oh yeah, we're at the laundromat again. Yeah, I had to call the cops. I felt so bad. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, and y'all had actually told me to call the cops. That's why I called the cops. I was like, well, the internet's home, so it's a bad idea to take internet advice. Let me tell you, horrible idea to take advice off the internet. It's usually the worst thing you can do. No offense. I'm just saying, for me, it's usually pretty rough. Let's go check on these clothes. Yeah, that's just wild. How you gonna sit there and lie like that when I got everything recorded? And let's not forget that Walmart and Food Line is the only two grocery stores in this town. So if I didn't have the resources that I have, I wouldn't even have food. That was intentional. 100%. Y'all don't understand these small towns like I do. Y'all don't understand homelessness, infrastructure, and you don't understand these people like I do. That was the objective, to try to push me out of town. Just like Eden. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please donate to my Cash App. Thank you.
Well, like I said, according to her, she's in a very small town, I think she said the population was like 2,000, if that much. And Walmart was called, and she was trying to pay for a bike. And somebody called, according to her, and fed them a bunch of crap about her, and they refused to sell her the bike, even though she had the money to pay for it, and they made her leave the store, which I don't know.
They do.
But then she got her bike back. So it was a whole confusing story.
Jasmine, they do. They think that it's cute.
She said her bike was gone, and she had to buy another one. And she went to buy this one that was $105 on sale. And she was ready to pay for it. And the manager came up and said, no, we can't sell you that. And you have to leave.
Really do. That guy that's going to be arrested, or maybe has already been arrested, we can actually call and see if he's been arrested. That guy would ride around laughing like it was cute. I don't play those games. I will fuck you up. Do you hear me? My criminal record says so. You want to ride around like it's cute, playing these little damn games. You're going to meet your match one day when somebody pulls you out that fucking car and guts you in the middle of the street like a fucking fish. You'll know it then. And he deserves every bit of what is coming to him. He's going to be in jail. You want to stop? You're going to need some bail. And like I said, if he does in fact bond, if he makes any contact with me, drives around me, trying to incite fear anymore, he'll be rearrested for violating the agreement of his bond order. I'm sick of this mess. I'm sick of being made out to be the bad guy.
I doubt very much if you got anybody arrested and they have to post bond.
And people just want me to deal with this behavior because I'm what? Because I'm a pretty girl with a big mouth? The double standard is preposterous. What if I was your granddaughter? You'd be absolutely furious that some man that's done castrated and maimed another woman, that got assault with a deadly weapon, assault on a female, you'd be extremely worried about your granddaughter if some weirdo was doing what he was doing to me, to her. So why is there a double standard on this channel? Do people genuinely hate themselves that much? Or are we in a place, Jasmine, I think you're onto something. I think it is a lot of the new generation behaving this way. Those are the main ones that stalk me around here trying to play little games and stuff. And I don't play games. I want you to leave me alone. I don't bother nobody, and I want people to leave me alone. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I think it is a lot of them teenagers. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Oh, Jeremy, you need to run this video back. We've already talked about that this morning. I'm sorry, you're slow without your helmet. I know. It's hard. Life is hard. Don't forget your helmet tomorrow. My shoulder hurts so bad. God. My hair's getting on the nerves. This humidity be killing me. Got quarters in my hand.
Here. That back. That's just a sweet older lady in there. I don't know if I think it's a multitude of things. I think it's the YouTube. I think that people like have this false illusion of how much money I'm making and it makes them want to come for me or something. I don't know. People do feel some type of way when they find out that you're in content creation. Like their whole faces change, positive and negative. But like, I think there's a lot of misinformation. I think that my job makes people feel some type of way. And then I think that my presence, like I'm a happy person. Y'all see me walk into the restaurants and coffee shops and I'm all smiles. Good morning. How are you? Like people don't like that. People don't like pretty girls that have personality, that actually have something to talk about, that actually have dreams. And people don't like that. Pretty women have a place. I'm actually going to push out this content talking about that, the history of pretty and how it applied in history. Because historically, if you were a pretty woman, then you were put to use. You were married off and like used as a pawn. Sometimes in your parents' game, sometimes in a political game. It's been a double standard for people who are attractive. There we go. And I'm sick of it. It's part of the reason that I'm in my situation. It's part of the reason, I don't know if it's just jealousy. I think that, sure, there's probably a few people, but I think that it's probably different for everybody why they behave that way and why they're coming at me that way and why I don't know. I think it's just, well, also, people are not going to agree with what I say. People who are part of certain communities like the LGBTQ+, they're going to automatically hate me because I talk about God. They're going to automatically hate me because I talk about how they're being used to make money. Stuff like that, And, and in all actuality, I've actually done quite a bit of content on LGBTQ+ in support of them individually, not mutilating them, not messing them up in the head, causing them mental health problems. So even though the LGBTQ+ might not like me, I've actually been a firm supporter of their own community more than they have.
How do we get on that?
Same goes for the African American community. I've disproportionately had Black women who are not happy with themselves try to be bullies. We've all experienced this. I'm not the only one. I just get it more because I'm a pretty white girl. And I've talked about that from the start of this channel. I usually think that those women, we do live in a generation where when I was growing up, racism was nothing like it is today. I do believe that people are absolutely becoming more racist every day. So I think that's a part. And I also think that my size and my looks is a huge part as to why that group of women try to bully me, belittle me. Listen.
What group of women?
There's a lot that I've talked about on this channel that people don't agree with. They get their feelings hurt. That's why people don't like me. Because I talk about real shit that matters, that we all go through. And a lot of people take offense because they're the type of person that would display the exact behavioral characteristics.
Okay. We'll pick this up tomorrow. I've been on here a long time. It's almost 11:30. And tomorrow I should be able to show you that video because it did not get kicked back out. So this time it got accepted with no problem with YouTube. So I trimmed enough off of it to be able to show you. And you'll see what I mean and what I mean about her. And we'll pick up where we left off with her. But I don't know. Yeah. She's very into herself. Yeah, very much so. And I just don't, like I said, I think I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. A lot of people don't know. I don't know. Some people think she's a fraud. Some people think she's not. I know that I was looking at her chats, and there was people that, one person who was facing homelessness who was getting ready to be homeless, according to them, and taking advice from her. I just don't know if she's totally what she claims. I don't know. Yeah. She's wild. But I will. Thank you, Misfits, for hanging with me. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the membership renewals. Please don't forget to do all that YouTube stuff, the thumbs up, the subscribe, the share. And don't forget, you can get a membership and become a Misfit too. But thanks for hanging with me, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. If there's anything you want to look at, please let me know, and we sure will. But until I see you again, you be good on these streets out there. Be the best misfit you can be. And have some fun. All right, guys. I'll be seeing you over the weekend. Night all. Wait. Interesting smell, grip, but who knows? Yeah. It's like, oh, the red flags are all there, but then she'll do something that makes you think, well, maybe those red flags are wrong, you know? It's wild. It's wild. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll be seeing you. Be good, misfits. Bye. All.